open my drink bottle. Okay.
Talk now.
Oh no, we're live. Hello everyone.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? So we're here for episode 201 of the Infra-Red podcast. So we've got 6 guests on tonight from Anomaly DJs. Like, I think I said that right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was funny. The other day I was trying to say it, and I was kind of getting like that tongue twister, like with Finding Nemo. Yeah, that's a cool name though. Very cool name.
Thank you.
So let's go around the table. So who have we got on tonight? So we'll start over here. Just so I might get people's names wrong maybe once
Just
or
want
twice.
the name, or we can
Say your name twice.
Twice, yeah.
My name is Dylan.
Dylan? Alright, yeah. Isaac?
Isaac.
Yeah, I got that one right.
Trips.
Yeah.
Jake.
Jake?
I've got Hells.
Hells, yeah. Josh?
And we got Q.
Q. And so you guys run, like, you guys are a part of a DJ agency here in Perth, and you look after quite a few venues, right? And like you guys all work together in between to be able to actually like put people in, you know, different spots and cover the venues and provide people a good night with music and DJing and all sorts, right?
100%. So
then, how long have you guys been running for to start off with?
We've officially been a collective for about 6 years now.
Yeah. That's impressive. That's not bad. It's before COVID, before the dark times.
Before the dark times. Yeah, about 6 years now with everyone joining at different stages throughout the journey.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy how quickly time flies and kind of where you start, and then you look back and you go, holy moly, I'm here now.
Yeah. Time flies.
Time flies, absolutely.
Especially when you're having fun.
Especially when you're having fun.
Yeah. So then, how did everyone come into it? Like, what got you into music? And we'll start around with you, Q, and then we'll go all around the room of just like, hey, the who, what, when, where, hi. Sorry. Who, what, when, where, why, and how you got to where you are now, like with music and everything.
Yeah, good question. It's weird actually thinking about it, because I feel like musicians, you kind of just, you're either like a musician your whole life or musically inclined your whole life, but you kind of go through this journey of discovering different things. So for myself, grew up in a really musical household, so can play most instruments. I was a drummer. That's like my main instrument. So
wow, okay.
I think being a drummer, it was quite easy learning how to DJ, because if you can count to 4 on the beat, then you're good to go.
That's it, right? Yeah.
So a good friend of mine who actually started Anomaly with me, Alvyn Tan, he was like, man, do you want to learn how to DJ? And I was like, heck yeah, because I saw other people doing it, and it just really interested me, being musically inclined. So
what year around?
That was about 2000. I was just finishing year 12, so 2015. So yeah, basically hit him up. He taught me, and then kind of launched into the classic like year 12 parties, 18th, school balls,
house parties, everything.
Yeah, and then it just kind of ran from there. My parents bought me my first decks and a set.
What was that? So we can look it up.
It was a Serato S. Oh no, it was a Tractor S4.
Nice. So that's what I used.
Started on Tractor. The classic.
I stick by it, honestly.
There we go. Yep. So Tractor S4 was my first controller.
Yep.
I used that for years. Stuck by it, and then when I landed my first club gigs, worked out that I needed a USB, because I was always on a laptop.
The pioneer, the industry standard.
What the heck is this? So ever since I started club gigs, I'm now Record Box, and I haven't really changed. Tried a little bit of Serato. I know some of the boys use Serato. But yeah, Record Box for me.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, my parents bought me my first bit of equipment, and since 2015, what went from parties just kind of ventured into different parts of the scene, which really ventured into then weddings, and kind of landing on weddings for DJing. So
there's a lot of money in weddings.
That's what I discovered really quickly.
There's a lot of money in that area. So what was your very first gig then?
My very first gig was a friend's house party. I remember it to this day. I had to borrow my mate Alvin's equipment.
Nice,
and I think he charged me like $100 or something, and I had to ask all the boys, like, guys, we all got a chip in $10 here. Like, I can't afford to drop my $100 on this equipment. It was in his garage, trestle table, 2 speakers and a sub.
Nice.
And yeah, it went off. It was like 80 year 12s in my mate's house in a garage.
Right,
so I think I got the taste for making people have a good time, because that's what we do, right? We want to make people have a good time.
That's what matters, really.
That's what matters, right?
At the end of the day, it's like you shouldn't be chasing cloud and chasing girls and acting like a rock star and this and that and blah blah blah. But making people smile and have a good time.
100%. I think nothing beats that, and that's why I'm still doing it to this day.
Hopefully we get that one day.
Yeah.
Well, what about you, Josh? So how'd you come in the picture?
Well, funny enough, actually, I first started DJing probably 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Just in my bedroom. My first gig was actually a friend's 21st. So I played that. I just come out of surgery on my knee, so I was sitting down DJing because I had tore my ACL at the time, so I couldn't walk properly. That was my first taste at, again, what you said, giving people a good time, basically. After that, I was a bit of an introvert at the time, so I didn't really go out much. So I had to get used to being in front of people before I put myself out there.
It's amazing with that, right?
Yeah.
It just puts you in that position where you kind of
It
have to
really
be
does.
social, talk with everyone, have a good time, right?
Yeah, 100%. I took my first steps by going. So I used to work at Culture Kings as just a normal retail assistant. So I reached out to a couple contacts that were still working there, a couple managers, and I asked them at the time, I was like, hey, I've just started learning how to DJ. Do you mind if I jump on the roster maybe once or twice a week, just to come in on a Friday or Saturday and just have a go? And they were like, yeah, that's cool.
I gotta say, it's so cool how like Culture Kings, they actually have DJs in the store during normal time.
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
it's
afternoons and stuff.
It's something different, actually. It's not many retailers had done it at that point when they first started doing it. But then after the facts, more and more retailers started jumping on it. And funny enough, one night, on a Friday night, because it's only one Culture Kings is in the city.
That's it, yeah.
So it was open late
Look up Culture
nights,
Kings, the one
right?
in Northbridge. Not Northbridge, in the city, sorry,
And basically what had happened, I remember this, like it was yesterday, I was really tired. I was so close to saying no. But one of my best friends, my best friend, he calls me after my shift. He's like, you want to go out? And I said, no, I'm really not feeling it at all. I just want to go home and sleep. And he goes, no, let's go get a drink. And I was like, all right, fine. As long as you're in the city already, because I'm not waiting. So long story short, I ended up at Caballeros. Man, Jake was playing Just Shake. And I was 2 drinks in, and a little bit of liquid coke. You know what? I've got my USB on me. I'm gonna go ask him if I can play. So I was very fortunate enough to have him say yes and allow me to actually plug in. No. Especially now being in that scene, I can't say I would have done the same. Yeah, must have liked what he heard, sorry. And from then they just took a leap of faith, and now I'm at Caballeros every weekend, basically. So
well, you guys play a mean set, I have to say. Like,
it's a fun time.
When I went down there and I was very drunk, I was like, yeah, this is actually a lot better than the other places I've been to. The music's good. People are vibing.
The guys.
The
cabs, I think.
It's a fun time. It's been great ever since. So it's.
So then it was straight into Anomaly DJs then? Like
pretty much. I met up with Cuan not long after that, probably maybe a week or two. He asked me, what makes you want to do this? All those type of questions. I said, look, I just got a love for music. I love to give people a good time. I love what I play. It's fun. It's a fun time.
Yeah, you got your heart in the right spot.
Exactly.
Right, sounds good. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, cool.
So what was the first DJ deck you ever used? And we'll
it was a DDJ 400.
Yeah, those things, a lot of people use those. A lot of people use
so that was the first one, and then I upgraded to an RX9, I think it is.
The RX2? Or RX3? Or?
Big screen?
Yeah, big screen in the middle. Yeah. RX3, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at getting one of those as well. Yeah, it's not a car, but it's definitely a DJ deck.
Same price as a car.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, very
Yeah,
expensive. So then, Hells, how did you come into the picture as well then?
Yeah, I'm super new to the DJ scene. Obviously, similar story with Cuan. Growing up in a musical household.
Oh yeah, just pull the mic in a bit more.
Musical household.
Yeah.
Instruments. I learned instruments from a really young age, from I could probably say 12. My 2 brothers would teach me certain chords, and I just go off from there. And so musically inclined as well, which is pretty grateful for.
It helps a lot, right?
It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
But with Anomaly, I started October of last year.
How did you find the guys?
Through Jake. Yeah.
So you're the networking dude then?
He is. No, me and Jake go way back. So I've seen him, I don't know, you mentioned a few times that he had gigs here and there, and I'm like, I'd like to, get into that. I think my first ever unofficial being a DJ was I was going between a big mixer, between 2 iPods, a laptop, and someone else's phone. And I would just unplug. I was just like, yeah, this is cool. This was years.
Whoa.
This was years and years ago. This is before like I don't know what a deck was. No, it was like a community event. I think it was. It was years and years ago.
That's
so
one way to
that was
do it,
cool.
though.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was cool. But yeah, just always been musically inclined. DJing is on the weekends. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah. So it's super fresh, super new.
Well, how long have you been DJing for? in total?
Officially?
Yeah, officially, yeah.
Since September
Yeah, wow.
2023.
No, that's cool though. That's very cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been loving it.
And she's killing it. Let me just
Yeah.
add that.
Oh.
in.
Well, yeah, that's it. If you're playing at Caballeto's and all the other venues
Oh,
as
it's
well.
good. Yeah.
Like it's difficult to get into venues sometimes, like because it's through the agencies and this and
Yeah.
that. But if you're in the right hands
Oh,
and you do a
grateful.
good job,
Yeah,
and then
definitely.
away you go, right?
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
if you guys are doing really well, then that's good to hear. So yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
And then so with the music as well. So then like how was it learning how to DJ? Because if you're so new to it, like, has everyone else kind of giving you like pointers and tips and stuff like that at all? Or, like,
I think one thing that I struggle with is finding the phrases in terms of how to mix things in.
yeah.
At first, I'd get so excited and just be like, "Oh yeah, just bring it in." But I'm like, "There's more to it. It's a bit more technical." Whereas I just came in with all guns blazing. It's like, yeah, music.
Yeah.
But it's real technical. Hey, like
Yeah.
it's definitely a challenge that I'm willing to take on. Like just learning different things and
Yep. Yeah.
watching different YouTube videos or Facebook, Instagram, just watching people how to
Yeah. How to do it.
how
yeah.
to do it. So
Would you say you're more a visual learner as well, like watching people? like
yeah,
watching
definitely.
tutorials?
Yeah, visual.
Yeah, it's a good way to do it. Funnily enough, a lot of the people I've interviewed on the podcast, they're all visual learners. They'll actually go out and watch someone do it, and then they'll be like, oh, I reckon I can do that, and then they actually give it a go, and then it
Yeah.
just works from there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no real book to DJing as well, right? Like there is, you can Google it, I guess, but who's going to read all that and then try and apply it from there? It's like you see someone on stage, be like, how the hell did they do that double drop? That's it, right? So then, Jake, how did you come into the picture as well?
Yeah, same again. I grew up in a very musical family.
Yep.
So, just like Cuan, drums was my first instrument, and I just went through the whole instrument list. But then I knew I wanted to do something in music. I tried out rapping for a little bit.
Very cool, yeah.
drop
Can you
some.
do, yeah.
I got thing as well, making music. Made a bit of music with Helen actually. Yeah, way back. But I knew I couldn't sing, but I wanted to do something, and then I thought I'll just dabble in some DJing. So I went and bought the Tractor's S4
Yep, nice. Yeah.
and started that. Didn't know how to use it. I just bought it.
Did you guys know each other at the time, or?
Nah, I
Okay,
didn't know him
yeah.
then. Nah.
Okay.
So all I did, I just had it in front of me, and I didn't know how to turn the thing. Well, yeah, I didn't know what to do with it. But I had a mate who knew how to DJ, so he kind of got me into it. And then that's where I kind of started. So yeah, that was way back in 2016.
And what was your first gig as well then?
House parties, yep.
party?
House
Yep.
parties, just word of mouth, just going around doing 21st, birthdays and whatever, random events, yeah.
And then I forgot to ask about Hells. What was your first gig as well?
Oh gosh, it was with Anomaly. It was at Whistling Kite
At Whistling Kite.
down in Secret Harbour. Shout out.
Okay, can we go? That
Whistling
place.
Kite.
Best
Okay,
crew.
that's cool. It's a good venue.
Best
It's a nice
food
place.
too. Oh my god!
Yeah,
if
food's
you're ever
good.
in Secret
Yeah.
Harbour, the
Thanks,
food and
Mate,
the
they look after you
service.
so well.
man.
Just quickly, it's
Staff are awesome.
so funny.
Yeah,
I just
crazy.
got to quickly tell you guys this. That I've got a good mate of mine, right? And she's been DJing for about maybe 5 or 6 years now, but she doesn't use the bar tab or the food tab at certain venues, even though it's provided. Like she just hasn't thought about it or like actually gone off and asked and stuff. For me, every venue I go to, I'm like, is there a bar tab? or
That's
can I have
incorporated
some
into the
food?
fee.
Like, that's it. Like, if you're DJing for 6 hours, 4 hours, whatever it is, you should get some dinner or takeaway for after or something, or get a beer or two.
Some
or something.
tequila. Yeah.
That's it, right?
Do you mind if I ask? Do you guys did you finish the tunes that you made? I never heard about that.
Yeah.
What's this shit?
And
I
so,
wanna hear
I think
that.
it was on a hard drive.
what kind of
yeah.
tunes were they as
hidden.
well?
R&B,
R&B.
R&B,
Attempt.
and
You know
It's
that's
an
on
attempt.
Google
Yeah,
Drive.
It's an attempt
it was
of
like
R&B.
the 2000s kind of R&B style. Like, it was very
Nice.
way back.
Yeah, classic stuff. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, made me think about
Yeah.
it. Pull it up somewhere. Yeah, pull yours up.
You never know. In a couple of years, you guys might actually be releasing music.
Definitely.
Be
I
the
definitely
next
want to get into
Genuine,
producing.
like- how do you say it? Genuine?
Genuine.
Yeah.
Genuine. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. Make the new pony or something. I don't know. But then, Isaac, how'd you come into it as well?
Yeah, I always feel so boring when people ask me that question because I was just bored, to be honest. And I went on Amazon. I think I just put DJ in because I didn't even know what they used. I think it was that Newmark Amazon, special, the $100 one.
Okay. What, like small little thing? Or
Like this big. It was very small. Like people would laugh at you if you brought it out, that kind of thing. And it was during COVID.
look up Newmark controller, maybe.
Yeah, Amazon maybe.
And throw Amazon in there.
I used to stay at this hostel in Frio, Pirates. Don't look that up, that's disgusting. Bed bugs everywhere. But
Is it one of these at all?
yeah, that's the one.
Wow.
Which one?
Middle, like that one, yeah. That
Oh,
one, 158.
Oh, it's gone
Oh,
up.
go up?
Inflation.
Definitely not the $1,000
that one
one.
there.
That one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
Wow.
That's pretty cool. That's not bad. It's got most of the.
It's got a sync button. You're good.
I'd love to lie and say that I was beat matching. I was not. I was pressing beat sync,
Yeah.
hoping that the lines. I didn't even know about lines. They would not be lined up well. And I was playing at this hostel that I used to stay at, and people were so nice. They used to say they loved it. Looking back, it must have sounded so, genuinely so terrible because it was just visually I would do it.
Practice
Line
makes
it up.
perfect.
And obviously one day figured out that you actually had to beat match, and that day still hasn't come, actually, has it? And then I did Your Shot, and then through a mate of ours who doesn't really, he used to sort of DJ with us, but he doesn't anymore.
Yep.
Shout out to Jeff. Actually, he's producing UKG now, and it's fire.
Damn,
so he's
okay.
going to be on the scene soon for sure. Yeah.
Very nice.
What's his name? Y2J. Watch out for him.
Y2J.
And he introduced me to Cuan at Cabalitos.
Yeah.
And then Cuan's just got me on ever since, and I'm really grateful for that.
And so then how long have you been DJing for? Because like what year did you do Your Shot?
Yeah, that was wasn't the last one, the one before. So 2022.
Yeah. And it was good. It was worth it. You learnt a lot.
Yeah, looking back, it's crazy because Jake did it as well. When it's happening, you're like, this is the biggest thing ever to happen to me ever. And then you get a gig at Cavs, it's like, this is the biggest thing. And then you get a drum and bass gig, this is the and then you look back, wow, that is crazy. I don't want to sound like a dickhead, but you're like, that is crazy that I put so much thought into it. Yeah, it's relevant. Yeah, so it was a crazy thing at the time, and I'm really glad I did it. Yeah,
Well, it's just the stepping stones, and then just being part of the industry and having fun, right?
That's it. But my set was all over the place, like 4 genres. And Greg, you said about Greg.
Grizzly,
he was my teacher. He was
Shout out
so
to Greg
nice.
Grizz,
Shout out to Greg.
Yeah.
He was so nice. He was like, yeah, it's so good that you're doing all these different genres. And looking back, it's like, Greg, you should have told me that. It's not good. Swapping 4 genres in 30 minutes.
You just got to make it work and make it smooth.
I
But
think
it's practice and all the other stuff with
100%.
it. So. Yeah.
So that's how I got into it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
no, very nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then first gig as well that you ever did.
Yeah, it would have been Cabalitos.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, and been doing some drum and bass as well. That scene's obviously very saturated, as you'll know.
Yeah,
so it's
very
hard
saturated.
to stay in it. I'm sure we'll get into that later.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
We'll get into that later. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
But then what about you, Dill? How'd you come into things?
I feel like you guys are gonna hate me for this, but I also was raised in a musical family.
Nice. Everyone is.
My how it started was my dad. He was actually gigging. He used to love playing the guitar, and he would go and he used to have a beat machine. And he would have one of them drum machines, and it would just be on loop, and he'll be playing
That's cool.
like UB40 and stuff, and he'll be just gigging, and then so he would actually take me and my brothers to gigs with him, and that's how we all started, because we all started just play an instrument.
Yeah, got the experience in a way.
Yeah, and my dad, he's like just a crazy. He'll just buy random music equipment, just anything. He'll just be online and he'll buy random, and then he'll hire it out.
Yeah,
And
okay.
then he used to.
That's a cool business model. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not bad.
anything music he would just dip his hands into, and he actually did. He would get like school disco gigs, and he would give it to my older brothers. And so my older brother Luke, it was a school disco. I helped him like set up for it, and I was like maybe 13 at the time. And I had no idea what even DJing was, and yeah, he didn't want to do this disco. He was like for these younger kids, and then he just showed me how to do it. He's like, hey, this is deck A, this is deck B, and it was literally just fade in, fade out. And I was like, man, I'm actually liking this. Just fade in, fade out, play.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. Yeah,
And then my first gig I ever did, first solo gig, was when I was 16, and it was for like I think an 18th or 19th birthday party, and yeah, I remember preparing so much for it, like from start to finish. I had all these songs, and I remember like just visualizing the night of how I thought it might go down, and just like preparing the whole set. And just like,
that's sick. That's awesome. Yeah,
and
it went well, and there was no hiccups or anything.
To be honest, I still remember that gig.
Yep.
Like it was yesterday. It's a gig I'll never forget.
That's good. That's great.
I had the time of my life,
right.
and then ever since then, I've been addicted like
Ever
heroin.
since then,
Like,
downhill.
No, very cool. So then, where did Anomaly DJs come into all of this? Like, how did you settle on the name, and like, just to kind of go like, let's open an agency? Because it's creating a business. That's the thing about it.
Great
like,
question. I'm still asking myself that
oh,
question.
just quickly as well. So, I just want to do the shout out. So, your grandmother's watching. Hi, grandma. Hi, grandma. Yeah, and shout out to Nabil as well.
Let's go.
Yeah, but yeah. So go on. Yeah.
Oh, so sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
Where's the toilet, brother?
Oh, well,
My
Blake,
dude.
do you want to show?
Of course, I've got to ruin the podcast at one point.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
specific instructions.
I knew this was going to happen.
There's always one. There's always one in the group. When there's 6 people, someone's gonna go to the
That's
toilet.
it. Yeah. So,
Craig, good question. Good question, man. It's definitely been a journey. I'll be honest, this wasn't the plan. Like, when Alvyn and I started Anomaly, first of all, the name, I guess, deviation from the common, like, oh, it's an anomaly. I just love that name. There's a rapper, Lecrae, and one of his songs, he does this like anomaly, and I was like, damn, that has a cool ring to it.
very
Figured
nice.
out the meaning,
Shout
and
out
I was
to
like,
Lecrae.
yo, let's shout out to Lecrae.
Yeah.
And then ran with it, Anomaly. And I think the team kind of just came about really organically. Like, Jake was the first one to join the team. I was doing a wedding. He's like, I knew him through a mutual friend. He jumped on. I was like, man, do you want to come work for us? Like, I had so much work at the time, just myself, because Alvyn had left to go to New Zealand, that I was just turning away gigs. And at
It
the
gets
time,
like that,
I didn't have friends in the scene like I do now to like give gigs to, because like we do that. There's another shout out to In The Event Sky, one of our good friends. Like, we just give gigs to each other because we're kind of like, man, if I'm not going to do it, someone else can do it, or Envy or whoever it is. Like, we're very organic and now giving away work because we're all in the scene, right?
Yep.
But back then, I didn't have anyone to give it to, so I'd just be like, hey, can't do it, sorry, good luck. Like, you know what I mean? So the team organically grew because I just had too much work to do by myself. And thank goodness for that, because, it's created an amazing team that has organically grown, and, we're in different scenes and pockets all over Perth now, which is crazy.
It seems like, you guys have got a good team together. Everyone gets along, everyone's just working together, and, the gigs are shared out equally, right?
Yeah, it sounds corny, but we call it the family. Like, this is the family. Like,
that's good.
That's how it feels. And I think to have that it's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then, so how has it been like collecting gigs over time? Because like, now that you got like the group together, do you ever turn gigs away or anything like that? Because like, or pass them off to In The Event or Envy or anything like that at all?
Yeah, definitely. I think we all have different, I guess, skill levels in different, I guess, genre, like places, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like, we'll organically say, like, a few of us here hate doing weddings.
Yeah.
Or don't
Yeah,
want
I'll
to.
put my hand
there
up
you go.
for that.
Like, whereas, like, I love weddings.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I love doing a wedding. I love that I get to do someone's wedding day and give them an amazing time. Like, I get off to that shit. I don't know. It's just me.
The food's pretty good as well, right?
The food's great. You have a couple of reds and you get paid a lot of money. That's just the honest truth about it. So I guess that is our struggle for giving away work, because if not all 6 or 8 of us in the team want to do weddings, only say 4 of us want to do weddings, I can only do 4 weddings, and then I'm maxed out, and then I'm going to palm it off to another company. So
that's it,
that's the dynamics of the business, and I'm a person, I'll never force someone in the team to do a gig they don't want to do.
Yeah, that's fair.
A, your heart's not going to be in it, and B, I want you to be enjoying yourself with the gigs that you're doing. So
well, that's the thing about it, where it's like DJing, people treat it like as a hobby and they love doing it, but then when it starts to feel like a job, you should kind of figure out a way to make it not feel like a job.
100%.
And like, if I do weddings and it feels like work, it feels like a job, because it's like an 8-hour day or 10-hour day, making sure the bride's going to be smiling like 100%. The whole time. Like
100%. So that's something we're working out as a team, and you go through your troughs, your highs and your lows. By the end of the wedding season, I hate weddings. I'm like, if I have to do one more wedding, I'm quitting this company.
Weddings.
Yeah. And that's only a small part of the business, or I should say it's a bigger part of the business, but it's not everything. All the residencies that we hold now just came through people seeing us play,
word of mouth,
doing corporates and like venue managers being there and saying, well, you did a good job, can we talk about potentially playing here. So I'd say it's always been organic, and I think that's how the scene should work.
That's it.
Dill said something last night, we all caught up for dinner, and Dill said it's not about who you know, it's about who knows you.
That's a good way to put it.
And I was like, mic drop, that's crazy.
Bang, mic drop.
But it's so true, because like we're sitting at the table talking about, oh, this person runs this event and this person owns this venue. But if they don't know you, who cares?
That's it,
Like,
it's just a cool venue,
It's just a cool venue that you're talking about. So it's definitely people seeing and noticing you. And that's why I say to these guys, every gig you play, you don't know who's in the room.
Yeah.
You don't know who's in the room, so give it 110%.
Yeah.
Because I've landed some of our biggest venues by just having a good time and playing the set that I was, and people noticing that and going, holy crap, that guy's having such a good time, having a mix. So that's like my biggest stress point for the team.
Honestly,
give it 110.
We talk about that so often on the podcast, where it's like when you go on stage or you go play a gig, you just got to be in it. It's like you could actually have like someone break into your house, or you could have like someone breaks into your car, or breaks up with your girlfriend, or this or that.
That actually happened to me. So.
but that's what I mean, right? And then you still have to go to work and still have to put on that show, even though you're feeling shit, because it's like something bad's happened in the week, or something's going on. But we're getting paid to be entertainers almost.
Story real quick. Literally was playing Cabalitos. My car got broken into. I went to my car mid-set because I smelled really bad and I wanted to put deodorant on. Windows were smashed, all my camera gear gone, and I had to go back and play another hour and a half.
Yeah.
Like, so,
and it would just been playing on your mind.
Literally, like the whole time thinking about that, but like there's work to be done.
Wait, but the police, they found your stuff, right?
Crazy story. 3 months later, they found it.
You're
That's
faking
good.
it, bro.
And
Man's getting that insurance.
I didn't even claim insurance because I couldn't.
How bad is that thief?
Oh man!
You get caught with cameras.
Literally.
Was there actually cameras on him?
No. They like the person who stole all our cameras have serial numbers, and I logged the serial numbers to the police. And 3 months later, they tried to cash it in at cash converters. And then all the serial numbers bounced, and it was Rockingham too. Rockingham Police Station, my hood, 6168.
My God.
Damn.
I got you.
There you go.
Southside.
There you go. If you lose your camera equipment, make sure you log the serial numbers.
The serial numbers. And get insurance that's covered for things being in your vehicle.
Yeah.
Did you get that insurance money as well?
Yeah. No, I didn't. I
So I got to ask, well, so like, what genres do you guys normally play? Because like Cabaret is more like hip hop and R&B and stuff, right? But then like, what genres do you cover? Because you do weddings as well. So I mean, that's probably cheesy stuff sometimes, right? A lot of country and all sorts. Like.
Well, if you're talking favorites, exactly Cabalitos for me at least, because I love playing hip hop, R&B, Afro beats. I'm a piano. That's where I'm at.
That's awesome.
But
That's good. Like
also
you found your place. Like.
Yeah, 100%. And there's also that room to play around with it too. But then, you got all the other genres, but you have to be dynamic because you can't play that same stuff at like Whistling Kite or Avery or like that. For me, that's my preference, but I do enjoy
like other genres
going
and
out,
stuff.
delving deep into other places.
That's the way to do it though. Like that is 100% the way to do it. The way I do it, right, is so I do this place called Long Chims, and Long Chims is in the State Buildings in Perth, right? But playing there, I've been a resident there for 7 years, but I get to play 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, like classic rock and roll, like Rolling Stones and stuff like that, right? Then I'll play at Guildford Hotel occasionally, and it's all proper dance rock and roll. And then I also play in Peach Pit in Scarborough, and then that way it's all beachy, housey tunes, but I pick and choose. And then that way I can actually fill all the different genres that I do enjoy playing. So that way I can keep, you know, enjoying what I'm doing in a way. Because, you know, like what we were saying before, doing gigs that you don't really want to do, then you kind of like, you're stuck being like, an hour left, I'm almost done, get me out of here. Like, these bloody country requests are getting up my ass. Like with functions and everything else, you know how it can be. But so then R&B and hip hop, and then being at Caballito's, that you feel.
That's where my heart is.
Yeah, you feel at home there. Yeah.
Yeah, because again, I didn't mention this before.
Yeah.
But just like everyone else, my family is a musical family. So, you know, I've got cousins who are into music. They like to rap and produce beats. I've actually got one cousin who's actually a famous. Well, he's pretty up there at least. He's a famous musical theatre player.
Okay,
so
what's
he's played
his name?
Aladdin. His name's Jason Arrow.
Jason Arrow. Okay. Oh yeah, let's Google it. Let's
Jason Arrow.
Shout out if you watch it.
At the moment, he's playing Hamilton in the Hamilton musical.
Damn.
He's played Aladdin.
Wow. If you want to come on here, hit me up, all right? That sounds cool as well.
So, and not to mention my parents.
Yeah.
Love them to bits. They raised me on R&B.
Yeah.
So I was listening to Prince, Michael Jackson, all those people.
Yeah, the classics. Yeah.
And it's just, you know, my taste developed from their taste.
Yeah.
And they were playing it out loud, just echoing through the house. Like on a Saturday, my mom, as much as she annoys me to clean up, she'll be playing the nicest songs to the cleaning up, you know? So it's just, it's been, it's
just rubbed off on you in a way, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So
isn't Drake your favourite artist, bro?
You're funny.
But then what about you, Hells, as well then? So what genre and like, where do you feel most at home? What gigs and stuff?
Probably more R&B, hip hop, Afro. I'm a piano, same as Josh.
Yep.
But like growing up, like I've always listened to everything, like on the radio, anything on the radio. At one point, I was listening to Good Charlotte. Like,
yeah, really?
I was,
classic punk
oh man,
rock.
like on the drive home, or I was just pump it. Like anything. My range of my interest in music was very wide.
Yep.
So I think because as well, like now that I'm more focused on DJing now, like I've started that up, I don't really have a favorite or a go-to at the moment. Like I'm still trying to find out where, like R&B and hip hop's like clear, but then I'd like to just touch on different things as well, different genres.
Yeah.
See what's out there, because things are like genres are coming out of genres.
Yep.
So it's like that's cool.
Definitely a topic we can talk about, because it's crazy how genres will come and go.
Yeah.
It's like we had dubstep for a long period of time, and then it just left. But then it came back, and then we got filth, and now it's on its way out. Now drum and bass is getting played in America, and drum and bass getting played in America. It's getting even bigger here, even though it was already big here, and all this other shit. Like it just comes in waves, and it's incredible to see how the culture and the music and everything changes over time. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, that's cool. But then, so what's your favorite venue you're currently playing at as well?
Currently playing, it has to be Cabs.
Yep.
At this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caballito's.
No, very nice. What about you, Jake?
Favorite?
Yep.
I haven't been there for a while, but I'd say it's Cabs.
Yeah.
Just because I love the old R&B hip hop as well.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, Cabs is the way to go.
It's a good venue, I have to say. It's a good venue. What about you, Isaac?
Is this a play or to listen to?
Or just like your favourite music genre to play out and about?
Oh, to play?
Yeah. And also like your favourite venue as well. Yeah, drum bass?
Be the basic guy.
Drum and bass.
It used to be hip hop, but that's because it was my favourite genre. But then when I started playing drum and bass, the energy that the crowd brings, it's just unmatched, really.
Yeah.
There is no other, because of the speed and the...
Yeah, how
you know when you play
whatever,
a wedding or, you know, some bar gig, and you're almost like begging people to dance. It's like, please dance for me or I'm going to go home really sad. And then you play drum and bass and it's like they're begging you for more songs, and you're just like, this is what it's really like to be a DJ. And I know Cuan feels that. I would say more just in general EDM, you know, when Cuan plays EDM at the Avery, like UKG or something, and people go off on a different level, you know. It's like double, because it's double the speed. It's like double the level of surprise and enjoyment, and it's really addicting. So
Yeah.
I would say drum and bass, definitely.
Yeah,
for sure.
very nice. And Dill?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Isaac with the energy thing. My personal preference is I like to an R&B hip hop crowd. But like there might be times when say I'll play like maybe a song that I love. I'll dance to if I was on the dance floor, but it might not go off on like to that crowd or something. Then I'm like, oh, I don't really. So I think it is kind of a crowd thing for me. Like, yeah, I mean, I do like, yeah, I would say R&B hip hop, but like I never used to like house or drum and bass. I used to like that. If someone asked me to play drum and bass, I'm like, man, get another DJ. But I'd say there was one. This actually changed me. There was one time I was on a like a little boat party gathering. And I was on the aux and I was playing all like Afro beats, and a few of our friends were like, I put on some drum and bass. I'm like, man, go screw yourself like that, right? And then anyway, so me and my friend, we actually took mushrooms, right? Took mushrooms.
Yeah, nice.
This is a true story. And I started tripping out hard. And I went underneath the boat, like not underneath the boat, like in the cabin.
Yeah.
And I remember I was just sitting there.
Wait, you went under the boat?
No, I'm seeing fish like that. And I'm like just sitting there and I'm tripping out hard. And these guys, and because I'm like just out of it, these guys took over the aux chord and they started just banging drum and bass. And then my head was just going, and my heart was going to the beat, and I was like, and I was like, this is insane. And I woke up and I was like, this is on vibe. I woke up loving drum and bass.
Nice. Very nice.
It changed me.
What's the moral of the story?
Yeah, 100%. You gotta do it, but yeah, now
Go on a boat and get some mushies.
real quick on that one.
Yeah.
I actually had a panic attack on weed the other day because I hadn't smoked for 4 years. Real quick, had a panic attack. I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to die, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I started listening to Alarm by Sub Focus, and I know what you're talking about. People are going to call us idiots, but every single drum beat I could like, it was like I was playing it. And I feel like I don't know if it's how drum and bass is just created at its core, but it's crazy. You can't really figure it out.
There's a lot of amen breaks in there.
It's wild. But I could like feel every single beat in it. It's wild.
I'm not. You know what? I'm not recommending doing drugs or like. I'm not. It takes you to another world. It just takes you another.
By the way, shout out to everyone that's watching. Big cheers for commenting and everything. If you ask any questions, we can answer them and all sorts. So then, so what venues do you guys look after?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we're currently in four main ones and a couple floaters, but our main venues, as you know, Cabalitos. That's our little baby. We love that. Shout out to Cabalitos and the team and the staff. They're our people. And then we're Friday nights at the Avery, rooftop bar in the city.
Very nice. Avery's a good gig as well. Yeah.
We've been at a Dequa, another Sneakers and Jeans venue.
Yep.
And then we're also at Whistling Kite, which is in Secret Harbour South.
Nice.
So between those four venues, they keep us busy, with more to come. Watch this space. But those are the main four that we play at as residents, with the odd venue that we're in.
And then, so when you do get a new venue, how do you kind of like, because there's 6 of you here at the moment, but then also you've got another 2, so there's 8 of you in total,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
How do you like? Does everyone get a go, and then whoever's like the right fit, do you talk to get the staff to tell you it's like Hells, you're doing great, and then you're doing great as well, and it's working out well. We want them back more often, or like what's the process?
Oh, definitely. I think a bit of both. Like like you said, I like putting people where they enjoy playing.
Yeah.
So, for example, Josh with his R&B and hip hop, like Cabs is perfect for him. So, like, I could go and put him at Avery, but he's probably going to be more stressed having to cater to that different genre. Whereas, like unless he asks me, like, I'm just going to keep putting it at Cabalitos because A, he's so good at it, being there, and B, I don't want to stress him out putting him at the Avery on the main slot playing to 350 people.
Yeah.
Like, he could do it, no problem. But
it's also different vibe, different
Yeah.
atmosphere, different music, the whole lot.
Totally.
It makes
So
complete
we've all
sense.
kind of
Communication.
found our pockets,
Yeah.
and we just kind of play to those strengths. I mean, like, we are growing now. We probably need a couple more as venues develop and things like that, and people will need to upskill in order to be, like you said, diverse to be able to play in all those venues, because that makes our job easier as a team to be able to move people around so people don't get bored or stale and things like that.
Well, that's it. Like doing the cycle as well, like actually giving everyone a go at playing at different venues, and it keeps it fresh, but at the same time you keep everyone happy.
Totally.
Like it's the best way to do it.
Yeah,
it's 100% the best way to do it.
100% couldn't agree more.
And then so with like music tastes as well, because it's it seems like the common thing is like everyone likes R&B and hip hop and stuff. But then so like, do you have any venues that aren't R&B, hip hop, or Afrobeats or anything at all? Or
Yeah. All of our venues can have a flavour of R&B and hip hop.
Yeah.
Personally, I loved R&B and hip hop when I first started. That was my genre. 2000s and 90s R&B, hip hop, Biggie, Park, like all that old school stuff. Now I actually don't play a lot of hip hop unless I'm needed to.
Really?
Now I love house, tech house, into the EDM genres. Anything with like commercial lyrics but with a bass line, that just gets me going. I absolutely love it because the girls can sing, so they're happy, but then all the boys are just there on the bass. And I'm like,
that's it.
And the Avery is just amazing for that. So the Avery at the moment is probably my favourite venue.
I got to ask, are you quite high up as well, like on that where that stage is? I saw the renovations. I was like, God
My
damn!
word.
Like you're literally looking
Being
down
up
at
there's
everyone.
fine. It's going to the toilet. That's the issue.
We try and find it like because how high up is it? It's like 3 meters.
It's probably 3
right?
meters. Yeah,
It's a rooftop bar, but then you're on
3
top
meters.
of a rooftop bar. It's
Scaffy, I don't know.
You're Scaffy too.
pretty wild where that DJ booth is.
Being up there is like the definition of anxiety. First time, it's
crazy.
Does it get windy up there?
Not too windy, no. But
Actually,
Can be
the
a nice
sun-
breeze.
When the sun's setting, it's directly.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, look at that on the right.
See,
Go
yeah.
down. Yeah, there you go on the right there.
Oh, we
Yeah,
had.
it's pretty high up.
it's high up.
It was
Yeah.
funny. They put a video of me and Cuan the other day, and there was we were so gassed. Right? We were like, "Yes, we're on the page. It's a sick video." First comment: "Yeah, these guys are shit." It was like every Friday I go to the Avery, and it's terrible. They don't beat match. It's awful. And we were there like,
that's
"Yeah, I don't
bad.
care," but I couldn't sleep that night.
Well, that's like what we were talking about before. Where it's like the scene can be toxic almost, whether it be just like from punters or other DJs being like. I honestly think it comes down to almost jealousy in a way.
Bro, that,
110%.
she comes on every post, and
I'm like, this is a
we
bot.
actually
Every
believe
post.
that
I don't think it's a
she's
real
like
person.
No, I
someone.
was about to say just ban
Been
it
a
from the
few
page.
posts.
We believe she's like a hater or something because she'll be inconsistent with what she's saying. She'll say Friday or Saturday. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, we don't play on Saturdays though. So do you just hate every DJ who plays ever?
Just hate everyone at the Avery.
It's funny.
That's
it's funny as fuck,
terrible.
though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it happens though. There's
Gotta
toxicity
deal
in
with the hate, for sure.
every single industry basically.
Yeah.
And it's like what I was saying before, where it's like you have there's so many DJs, so many events, and this and that. How do you fit them all into just the amount of venues that we got?
It's crazy. Man.
How do you guys go about like getting more gigs and actually like staying with the flow of? I mean, it's a business at the end of the day,
100%.
but at the same time, you're making people smile. You're doing the right thing by the by the business standards away. But then to keep work coming in and making things flow, is it just from word of mouth? Or?
Yeah. I think as a director of the company, it's finding that sweet spot between not getting greedy and just also enjoying the stage you're at as a business. Because trust me, I could take on way more work for us, but we'd probably all end up hating our lives. Because a lot of us here still work full time during the week. So once you've done your 40-hour week, plus then you're doing 6 hours on a Friday and then sometimes 6 hours on a Saturday, like you know, like
you get pretty tired.
Burnout can happen really, really quickly. So I'm actually very content with the amount of work we have at the moment as a company. I think to take on more work, we'd have to have more DJs. But again, finding quality DJs without taking away from other companies is a hard thing to do.
Yep.
And I'm very big on that because I know what it's like for other companies to use our guys, our team, and then it puts a hole in our thing in the, hey, can you work this week? Oh no, I'm doing another gig.
Yeah.
Oh, what? I expect you to free. You know what I mean? So I don't want to ever do that to other companies. So I think it's about finding that sweet spot of, this is actually running and operating really smoothly without causing extra stress on the team or myself or the venues.
Well, it's the communication.
It's the communication.
It comes down to
massively.
communication.
And I will say our team's really good at being like, hey Q, I've had enough of this. Can you give me a break for X amount of time? Or hey Q, just letting you know, I'm so keen to do more work. Slot me in, which really helps me because then I know what's coming up. I can turn away work or I can take more work. That sort of thing. And having friends in the scene like we do helps so much because if we're stuck, I can reach out to someone else and be like, hey, can I please use one of your guys? Or if they're stuck, they can use one of our guys. And that just creates so much unity in the scene. And like we were talking about earlier, like I wish we were all like that.
Yeah,
like
just all one big family.
There's so much work. There actually is so much work available, but yet we all undercut each other and take DJs and step on each other's and squabble. Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. Like even last night, Adam from Envy hit me up and they had a barbecue last night at his warehouse. Like all the big wedding guys in the scene just all went to his warehouse, had a hungy. I couldn't make it because we had a team meeting, but I'm like, that's how it's meant to be. That's it. Like we should all be collaborating, pushing each other, helping each other out. Do you need to borrow this bit of equipment? No worries, come pick it up. Like that's how it should be. So we're trying to build that culture as a company, and I can see more companies are starting to do that. Like people are realizing, we actually don't have to fight each other for work anymore. We can just all collaborate and all have lots of work and all make lots of money, So
that's the way to do it. That is 100% the way to do it.
It's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling.
And to be like, just to push for the right thing. Yeah. As long as you're moving in the right direction in a way that makes, it just keeps everyone happy. Yeah. Whether it be customer, like the client, or even people within your own business. Yeah. It just makes the morale in general good. 100%. And it just pushes for the right thing. It starts making changes in the industry.
Yeah, definitely. And I think one thing we talked about last night is we're very branded as a wedding company at the moment. Like you look at our Instagram and our page.
Can we pull up the Instagram?
Yeah, pull up our Instagram. We're very wedding branded, which is fantastic because it's a big part of what we do. Yeah. But it's also a very small part of the team. Like probably only 3 or 4 of us are doing weddings at the moment, whereas we've got 8, 9 people in the team.
That's it, yeah.
So we've just made a decision last night that
it's very professional.
It's very wedding orientated, which is fantastic. But we've just made a decision that we do a lot of work outside of weddings. But at the moment, if I'm about to approach a big company and say, hey, we've got all these DJs that would love to play in your venue, and I point them to this, they're like, oh, you guys play weddings. You know what I mean? It's like there probably is a bit of a stigma around weddings, but we're trying to change that in the wedding scene. I want to rock up to a wedding and play house and UKG and drum and bass, and that's the clientele that we're now attracting. It's no more ABBA, Dancing Queen. Like if you want me to play that, you
only for the oldies, mate.
People want Fred again.
Well, that's my favourite song.
And James and James Hype. So being in the wedding scene and being one of the bigger companies in the scene, there's a certain type of music we want to play at your weddings. We don't want a boring ABBA Dancing Queen wedding. Like we want to play Fred again, and we want to play Butter Done at the end of the night, or whatever it is. And people are starting to catch on to that, but now we're just trying to differentiate and separate, which we're going to do very soon. So we're going to have Anomaly Weddings, which is a pure wedding page and following, and then we're just going to have Anomaly Events, which is all of our venues, weekly gigs, stuff like that. The boys can post when they're running their own events, the drum and bass set on the mountain, which we really need to show soon. Just so that people don't look at us and go, oh, they're a wedding company. Yeah. So we're at that point of the business now where we can separate the two and show that we are diverse in all the things.
That's awesome though, because it's identity. That's something I wanted to actually ask. Like leading into that, it's like having the identity of what the business is, and if you're going to split that but then keep them working together, it's similar thing how what we've got. So we've got Infra-Red network, but then having under Infra-Red network we were going to do Infra-Red streams, and we're also going to try and do like it was going to happen, but then it's just like it's a lot of work, but we're going to try and do like our own version of Triple J, like a version here. But then in doing that, it's like to get bands in to set up and do this and do that and live stream it using the green screen stuff. It's a lot of work. So it's still potentially in the pipeline, but still having that core identity of what the company is.
Yeah, that's it. So we'll still carry the Anomaly brand as a collective, but people will just know that we're very diverse in what we do, and we're not singled to a single type of advertising or type of DJing in a sense. So yeah, we're definitely getting there.
Anomaly is a sick name as well.
Yeah,
thank you.
How did you come up with it?
I think just the Lecrae song. At the end of the tagline, he like sings his thing. He's like Anomaly, and it's like deviation from the common. I'm like, yo. I was like 16 years old, and I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's how the name came about.
Did you guys study at all? Like, not so much like music or like, you know, DJing or anything like that, but like with digital marketing or advertising or anything like that? Because running a business, like when I first got into this industry, I got told right in the beginning, if you want to DJ, you have to be a graphic designer, you have to be a business manager, you have to do graphic design, marketing, business management. You basically have to be able to know how to do like invoices, like the accounting, like everything. You have to be all over it, because then you're contracting by yourself, trying to play music.
I will say, like, there's days where I want to be in these guys' positions, because if you I'll be dead set. All these guys do, notification, play this event, cool, get paid.
Yeah, that's
like,
yeah.
I'm like, so they probably don't have to do a lot of that branding and selling themselves and looking for work, because they just get a notification. They go, yeah, sweet, I'm free. I'll play the game.
Q does literally all of that.
But that's the beauty of it. Like, that's why it works so well, because now they're a part of this brand that can offer them work, but then they also give back to the brand, and it's just this amazing thing where everyone's winning. But there's just so much you still don't do. Like last night, we're like, guys, we need to be making mixes. Guys, we need to be putting up posts on social media. Guys, we need to be making TikToks.
That's it, right? And
so
it's a lot.
I said to Dill, I'm like, Dill, you are now our marketing guy. Like, you're doing all our content. So there's so much to it, but I guess you just kind of learn and grow as everything progresses. Yeah.
And then it's just trying to do everything as well. Like being able to get Dill to do the marketing might be a good thing, because then it's like it takes some of the pressure off of your back to be able to actually do other things or get more leads or
100%.
you know, more
100%.
venues or something or anything.
Yeah. And letting go of that, you know, as a business owner is hard in the beginning, you know, to let go and give responsibility. But the more you do that, it's like things grow, because other people share in the responsibility of what's going on. So Isaac does all of our venues. Isaac does all our bookings. I don't touch it. It's Isaac's job.
Yeah. So it's just
even just doing that, I'm like, that's one less thing for me to worry about. You know? And eventually, all these guys will probably have roles within the business to take pressure off me having to think of A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
The work's coming, you guys.
Yeah, so,
it's on its way.
Yeah, it's just cool that Anomaly can provide an extra income to all of these guys.
Yeah.
Like when I look around, I'm like, damn, like all of these guys are making good money because there's this company that's running. It's a mega blessing.
It's the misconception as well. Like a lot of people, like in day-to-day normal full-time lives or like full-time jobs and stuff like that, they don't realize that it's like if you do, you know, pick up a shift on the weekend and doing DJing, it's even though it's so much fun, it actually is that little bit of extra income that helps you afford.
Hustle, man.
Yeah, the side hustle. Yeah,
you got to have a side hustle these days.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
If you want, I would say, if you want nice things, you got to have a side hustle.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it.
It's true. Yeah.
I'll tell you what though, I did study at Lab 6. Zeke Beats.
Oh yeah.
So he's the one that taught me how to use the CDJs.
Yeah, okay.
I knew I wanted to get better.
Can we pull up Zeke Beats? ZEKE. Yeah.
Shout out, he's doing really well now over in the States.
Yeah.
But so I learned the CDJs from him. And then as soon as I finished that course, I told my mum, I was like, man, I want to get some CDJs. I know they're like 10 grand.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm just looking, and all of a sudden JB Hi-Fi had a sale. Okay, 8 grand, still expensive. But hey, I got a credit card and ended up doing it. The thing is, I wasn't really doing any gigs. Like I was just word of mouth. So I'm kind of an introvert as well. So I'll just be like, oh yeah, I'll play. So yeah, I'll come to your party or whatever. But I got to give up to like Cuan for having me on, because I wouldn't have been doing as much as I do now. Like now I'm busy as that. I get really tired and I feel like I've got a life, or maybe too much of a life. But yeah, ever since joining with Anomaly and doing weddings, I've been stretched with like my DJing. I did start with the EDM stuff, but now I'm getting into commercial and real cheese and
branching
like you
out,
say, country, and I've done a metal freaking birthday till 2 a.m.
Right?
Oh, it was crazy. I've never mixed metal, so I was literally Spotify for them. But man,
But it worked out
you really
well,
get stretched,
Yeah.
So it's been good.
But how incredible is it though? It's like, because you know, you said before as well, Josh, like a little bit of an introvert, but going out and playing music, and it kind of just takes you out of your comfort zone.
Oh yeah.
Like when I first started out playing, like going to new venues, I would be kind of like a bit anxious, almost being like, I don't know anyone there, I don't know the bar staff or anything, but I've been booked to play this 40th birthday. But then when you rock up, you're just there to have a good time, and you just settle in. It just rolls out, and it's so much fun, right?
Dude,
It's so enjoyable.
even just starting at Culture Kings, my hands were shaking. I was like, no, I don't know how to do this. And then, funny enough, actually, Culture Kings actually has the worst decks.
Really?
I'm pretty sure they've been there ever since it opened.
What type of decks are they?
They're CDJs,
Yeah,
but they're old.
Yeah, old
Half the
CDJs.
buttons do not work.
Yeah.
So my first shift there, I'm like, oh, the Q button doesn't work. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Common thing,
Like,
yeah.
so I'm freaking out. Like, okay, cool. And then I don't know, just winged it. But yeah, like even just because I was so introverted at the time, still a bit of an introvert, but a lot less of an introvert.
That's it. Yeah.
I just was shaking in my shoes because I was like, oh cool, this isn't even a crowd. They aren't even at this shop for me, but I'm playing in front of people.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's character development almost.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
you put yourself in a position you never like. Did you guys ever think when you were younger, it's like I wanted to be a DJ when I grow up? That's it, right? You just fell into it, and then you're like, I can't get enough of it now, right?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
that's what happens. It kind of like takes you, like as soon as you give it a go and you do like a really good gig, like that first one you said right in the beginning, then it kind of just grabs hold of you. You're like, nah, I want to keep chasing that. I guess that high almost, but it's so much fun. When you have great gigs, it is just incredible.
I think my biggest achievement, honestly, aside from the business, is the character growth.
Yeah.
Like within this group of people, because Josh, when he first started, like he wouldn't even like make eye contact with me when I took him out for coffee, and now he's like.
He's having a good
he'll
time.
touch on this. He's like gonna run his own event, like
Yeah.
at Cabs. Like he's just gonna market and run his own event. Like Isaac, when I first met him, like real quiet, real nervous. He's like, "Why are you hanging out with me?" I'm like, "Bro, you're a cool dude. What the heck's going on
Yeah.
here?" And now he's doing drum and bass sets on top of a mountain. Like,
Yeah.
Still the only white guy in the team.
still the only white guy in the team, but
The non-musical fan.
he's black on the inside. But yeah, it's amazing just to see the growth already within the team so far in such a short amount of time, and that for me is the biggest achievement. Like aside from anything else, just to see people owning what they're doing and having a great time doing it, like that is 100% number one.
Yeah.
So
Definitely,
it's-
yeah. I can imagine it hits you in the heart. It's warming feeling, right?
It's such a cool
It's just like taking on people and hanging out and having a good time, and then giving out gigs, and then like doing well, and then making the business work. Like, it's
Crazy.
awesome.
I think
Crazy.
like since I've started, like immediately when I had a meeting, or you guys had a meeting, and I just tagged along with Jake. I mentioned it to Jake. I was like, immediately I just felt instant like family,
Yeah.
like instant acceptance, instant. There was just a vibe between the group already. So that, I think, when it comes to gigs, like especially me, like coming in real fresh, it helps in that way. Like it helps like building character. Like obviously preparation is a massive deal. Like even if you're playing a 70s 80s night,
Yeah.
even though it's not my go-to genre or any of our go-to genres, but once you're prepared, you're in the pocket. Like you're in, once you're playing, you're just in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think being a part of this group, it's there's a backing as well, which has been really helpful.
Do you guys all work together as well? So then if you do get like a 70s 80s function come through, or like a cowboy country function or something come through, then do you guys actually like pull together and be like, I think this song will work, or this or that, or
Often we actually exchange USBs.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's a good
So
way to
we
do it
just
as well.
share music.
Yeah,
So, something Dylan could have that I might not, just share it.
that's a really
It was
good way
really,
to
it's
do it.
really sick what Helen said,
Yeah.
because it's so true. I feel like this is only my second year of DJing in clubs and bars and stuff, and it got really low for me this year because my music, I was stretching my music a lot, and it was just like the same stuff, and all the playlists feel really awful, And having a team there to go, I feel this way, and then Jake can be like, well, I felt this way before, and this is what I've done. And I feel like if you were on your own, you would maybe you just quit. Honestly, like you wouldn't have the balls to go ahead
Yeah.
and continue. But with a team, you can.
See, it's
when I said
funny-
to Cuan that weddings were killing me, he's like, they've killed me for 8 years.
Yeah.
It feels a lot
You're
better.
alright,
It feels a lot better.
We need you.
But that's a very valid point.
Don't
And
feel
so
alone.
being in this industry for a long, long time, I've seen people come into the industry and they're by themselves, and I just call it like they do the circuit. So when I say they do the circuit, they'll go and play at the major nightclubs or pubs or whatever it is, or bars, right? But they'll come in, they'll try and find a place to be able to call home, and it'll work out, and then they'll kind of have their time or whatever happens. But then they'll kind of either exit the scene or just find another way, like another avenue, and then find their place, their home in a way. But a lot of people, they'll give it a go, but then they find it's for them, but they don't know how to continue it. But when you have a group and your group's working together, you can cover all the bases and make it happen.
100%.
You can, as a team.
If you're on
more
your
can
own and
happen.
you got 100 guys just finish your shot ready to take your spot, or Just like so many people ready.
Yeah.
How could you be that consistent and stay that good? You know.
Yeah.
So you make a great point there.
That's it. But then coming together as a group, and then look what you guys have achieved as a group. That's the biggest thing about it. Someone that just finishes your shot and doesn't know anyone in the industry, how are they going to make their way to be able to be playing at clubs and bars and stuff, unless they've got a prior knowledge of networking and like socializing and, you know, being that social butterfly that goes to a bar and like, who are you? I like you. Let's drink. Let's have a good time. You know, bridging that gap almost.
Straight up.
It's just like, you know, how I met you guys. Like, you guys saw me, Josh and Hells. Like, I was shit-faced drunk at Capitolitos. I was having a great time. I was with my mates, and I was like, all right, well, who are you guys? I run a podcast. Here's my business card. Come on. Like, but through the networking, through having a good time, enjoying yourself. Have you guys ever experienced any, like, gigs that haven't gone as planned at all? Like, a good example, right, is I did a wedding, and basically it kind of got a bit hiccupy, and one of the groomsmen punched the best man, and then when he punched the best man, the bride got involved, and then the bride got pushed over in her dress, got muddle over her dress, right, or like dirt and stuff, and then the father of the bride, the husband, and the groomsman took this dude out the front, beat the shit out of him, put in an Uber, and then I come back and they're like, the wedding's over, you can pack up. So yeah, something like that happened to me, and I'm sitting there
Were you
like
still playing while they were beating each other?
I was looking after the kids that were like around. I was like, kids, look at me, you know. Like, don't yeah, that's it. I was like, yeah, what do you want to hear? I'll play some Marshmallow for you.
Josh has got the support up in here.
Yeah, damn, look at you go. But have you guys ever had any gigs, like whether it be pubs, bars, or even functions that have kind of gone a little bit tipsy-turvy, but they've been okay?
What, 100%. I'm from Rockingham, bro. When I started DJing, my best gig I ever did, it's meant to be 4 hours, paid me $800. I was there for 20 minutes.
No, what?
I set up, 10 minutes in, massive scrap. Everyone left from the backyard, ran out the front, everyone's punching on the street, cops arrived, and I just went, I'm going to pack up.
But you got paid, right?
They paid me in cash up front.
Damn.
Party got shut down, $800. Cheers. Thanks
20
for coming.
minutes.
20
Oh,
minutes.
that's good
20
gig.
minutes.
Except
if you got gigs in Rockingham, just look after your equipment and hopefully there's a punch up.
Make sure you can get to your car and not get involved in the punch up.
I just remember one. I don't know if I told you. I think I did. It was at one of his weddings. Maybe I didn't tell you because.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
Goss is coming out in the podcast.
So the groom was doing a speech and he kept making jokes. I did tell you about him being dyslexic, and everyone was cracking up. And I played what's the DJ horn? He made a joke about him being dyslexic, and I was like do 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 do. Yeah, everyone was cracking up. Everyone was like ha ha ha. No, everyone was cracking up, and then he kept going. And I didn't realise that he was starting to be serious. And he said dyslexia again or something, and I played a laughing track, and the whole wedding just went.
That would have been wild.
And then someone went, "You hired him."
That's amazing. That's so good.
Hey, that's the first time you're hearing this.
Okay. I was about to say, damn, it's the first time. Like, wow, how long have you been hiding that one away?
You know what? That's brilliant. When he told me, I laughed. I was like, that's actually really funny. Like, I'm not gonna get mad at that. Like, that's funny. I'm gonna look back and go, remember when the DJ did that? Like, you just gotta roll with the punches. It's
100%.
But that's exactly it. It didn't really go tipsy-turvy. It's still like, it was just, you just played a laughing track by accident.
I wanted to die, bro. I wanted to roll up and just roll away. It's the fact that you're right in the middle and like everybody can see you and hear you.
Yeah.
And you're the guy.
The pressure is
you
on.
You can't leave. Yeah,
the pressure is on. What about you guys though? Like, have you guys ever had any gigs that gone?
I had a weird one. This was not through Anomaly. This was Girls 18th, basically a high schooler. I brought one of my friends because I was gonna struggle. Taking all the equipment on my own.
Yep.
So we go on. At first thing, half of the people she invited didn't rock up. So it was a boat party for one. And so it was mainly empty for the whole time, right? And for one, they're all underage, most of them anyways. The ones that weren't were wearing a wristband. But you know, like, kids nowadays, they like to sneak or like, you know, they're sneaky,
cut the
right?
wristband off, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. So first thing, which is kind of, I wouldn't say this is weird, it's more of a common thing. They were caught with alcohol, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So they got a warning, right? And, you know, as charter boats are, you know, with minors, if they don't listen, you have to turn it around, otherwise the police, they'll come up and then they'll get fined and all that sort of stuff, right?
Yep.
So they gave him one warning, right? Told me to turn off the music. That was that. Full lectured him. Me and my friend were just standing there like, oh, this is interesting. So basically what happened, the weird part was after this warning, right? So jeez. Basically this was so weird. So it was, like I said, a lot of people did not rock up. So the boat was 2 stories. All the kids in that were upstairs, right? Me and my friend were just, I've actually got a funny video. He's like, oh, I'm having a great time. And then like I pan out and show the whole boat just empty. Like it was pretty funny. But then what had happened was, first thing, the cabin crew had asked, the first time that they caught them with alcohol, they asked them to put all the alcohol at the front of the boat.
Yep.
And that only the people with wristbands can access it, right? So they started going through like their bags a little bit, just having a look, found alcohol. That was the first thing, right?
Yep.
Again, not that weird. The weird thing was, when they went upstairs to go tell them, hey, we found alcohol that you didn't give us, we're turning around, right? Weirdest thing, guy comes downstairs, right? Comes directly up to us and the cabin crew, because we're just chilling with the cabin crew at this point, because nothing's happening.
Yep.
And I'm just playing music, just letting it play, transitioning, letting it play, whatever. Guy comes down the stairs and he goes, yeah, so I saw something really jarring and a little bit, I think it might have left a deep scar. And I was like,
left a deep scar? Like, okay.
Like we were all just very, very curious. We're like, what do you mean? What happened? And then he goes, so I saw the birthday girl and some guy, I'm sorry, family, for listening.
Yeah, getting it on or something, yeah.
69ing on the top deck. Weirdest part about it was,
people were around?
Probably.
Was it Drake?
Worst part about it was, right?
Yeah.
And it was also the weirdest thing, all the kids were huddled around.
Watching that going on. All right, that's a bit.
It was weird.
What?
We heard that. What?
Yeah.
So basically, told them all to come downstairs. Party was over. I still got paid for the full thing, which was fine. I was like, yeah, cool. I'm happy. I was bored as batshit anyway.
Yeah.
But it was just a really, really weird thing to hear.
It would have been.
So. Well, I'm glad I didn't see it. I am sure Drake would have loved it, but no, I'm glad I didn't see it.
Damn, shots fired. Shut up.
But yeah, that was my weirdest experience. Aside from that, probably cabs. One night there were people throwing glasses at each other. Weird. I don't know why.
They kicked out straight away.
That's what I thought, but I don't think anyone saw who threw it. So
it can be like that in venues though, where you just don't, the staff don't see it or they don't go in the cameras, and there's like something is still going on. Like
because I literally saw it. I saw the glass land on someone's head.
Yeah.
I didn't see you throw it. Who threw it? Sorry. So yeah, those are my 2 weird things. The first one a little weirder than the last. So.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So I'm glad I didn't see that.
Does anyone else have any cool stories to share or anything? Or?
Actually,
Yeah.
you know, I do have one that I want to put out there. When I was like, me and my cousin were DJing when we were like teenage. This is going back teenage years.
Yeah.
And we did a gig out in Gidgee-Gannup. Right,
Yeah,
it's a
that's
private
far,
event.
yeah.
And it was like, it must have been for maybe a 19th or actually, sorry, I think it was the 21st actually. It was around that age group, and they were just like getting drunk, and there was one dude, and me and my cousin, we're just these 2 scrawny little kids at the time DJing. And just think that there's this whole party, they're all like friends and everything, and one dude was coming and like hitting over our speaker. He hit one over, hit the other one over. And so that is something that I do want to put out, because when we go to, like, say if we're DJing, I'd say to Cabalitos or something, like we're not playing with our equipment, and we've got security there having, if anything happens, you know, they've got us covered. Yeah. But if we go to a private event, people don't consider this, but we're bringing our equipment. There's no security. We're there on our own. So it's like it's not going to be the same price.
Do you
People
guys have liability insurance or anything like that? Yeah.
But it's just something people don't consider, like, you know, why DJs charge what they charge. They're coming to, you know what I mean? So
that's it. Yeah, people don't realize.
People don't have no idea.
A good 12-inch PA speaker. Like, look up a Yamaha DBR12. That's what I've got. Like, I love those speakers. Super good. They're like $650 per speaker.
Thank you. What's the ones we got now? What are they called? We got speakers that are like 4K each.
Well, so there you go. Yeah.
This grandma the other day, she's like leaning on it, just pushes it over.
And
just
so what
smashes
ones
on
you
the
guys
ground.
got? Bose
Pro 16s.
Pro 16s. Okay.
Yeah, no one cares. They put drinks on it all the time.
See,
People
every
are
time
so
I do a
disrespectful,
function,
man.
I
It's
have like my
crazy.
DJ table right, but I set up another table in front.
Yeah.
So that way, if they do want to put drinks down, there's a separate
good
table in front of me.
Yeah.
Plus, it gives the distance from the audience to me. So if they really want to come around and talk to me, they have to walk around 2 tables technically to talk to me.
Okay, so these
That's the
things
way
are
I do it.
great.
Yeah,
But
those things are good.
For
Yeah.
some reason, women just think that you can hang off that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Every time,
God.
always women.
Looks like a stripper.
Always
But I ain't see no males hanging off that black thing. That's all
Every time it wobbles and they go.
Hey, ain't the stripper club
Yeah.
It's so light.
Oh my word.
But have you guys had to repair those then, or have they
I've-
broken off, or?
I can't say I've ever had equipment damaged.
Yeah.
I've had someone spill a whole drink over my laptop. But what
Damn.
saved me is, you know those like silicone covers
Yeah.
that you
You
lay
had that
over?
shit.
I had that on,
I
and
need that
literally
shit, bro.
that was the saving point. As soon as I landed on the laptop, I just tipped the laptop over and everything kind of fell off.
Yep, that's the way
But
I do it. Yeah.
like, people just don't understand.
What was
And
the
it's in
look?
all-
What
it's
was
in-
the look you gave her
Oh my
afterwards?
word! I actually think I turned the music off, and I
Yeah.
just said no more.
Yeah,
And then I
that's
shut
the
it
way
down.
to
And
do it,
that's in
yeah.
all our clauses. If
Yeah.
people damage equipment, I actually had this bride argue with me the other day. She's like, "But I don't understand why if one of my guests damage your equipment, I'm liable." And I said, "Well,
you hired me.
who else is going to pay the bill? Like
Yeah.
that drunk person's not going to go, mate, I'm so sorry. What do I need to pay?
Yeah.
It's your responsibility. It's your wedding.
It's your
gig."
event. Yeah.
So, excuse me. People get real funny about it. I'm
Mm.
like, I'm not paying to replace this. Like, you know what I mean?
You know what? That's something we never have that problem when we're playing at a venue.
No.
Like if a person just comes up to us and say they're requesting a song, like I've had the bouncers come up to us and be like, "Hey, everything all good?"
Yep.
I'm like, "Yeah, everything's fine." But at a private, you know what I mean?
Maybe this
It's
is a new business we need to invest into. Private security for each gig.
Private security.
Charge the client. There's actually a
Just
fee for
staunch
security.
them. Like,
It's true.
But it's true. People don't think about that, you
Yeah.
know. So
No, not at all.
it is one of those things, though. It is 100% one of those things.
And I think people forget this. Like for some reason, this is my pick. Brides will happily pay. Bride or grooms will pay $4,000 to $8,000 for a photographer.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, why are we capped at the price we are? Like
Yeah.
I almost say
Yeah.
we do more for someone's wedding
Yeah.
than a photographer. And I do photos and video for video. Like so they have a crucial role. But it's like as soon as you mention DJing, it's like you can't charge this high-end price.
Mm.
But I'm like, all the equipment we bring is probably just as expensive as all the
Running the
equipment
whole
the
thing as
videographers
well.
and photographers are running with.
Yeah.
But for some reason, we have this cap in the scene, and I'm like, why is that?
Yeah, but it's wild though, because sometimes, like, do you guys ever offer MC services? as
Yes,
well?
for sure.
But that's the thing, is then you're basically being a wedding planner.
Literally.
You're literally a wedding planner, and you have a photographer getting 4 or 5K or whatever because
Like,
they're
in the
taking
background,
special
snapping
photos.
I mean,
photos.
the
Yeah.
florist even gets more money
Dude,
sometimes.
Flores,
Yeah. That's it.
5K florist.
I've got a
Crazy.
friend
And
getting
the
into
wedding-
balloons. Like, make a lot of money, film balloons up
Oh
for
my
a
word.
wedding.
And the wedding planner's gone at like what 9 p.m.
Yeah.
and you're there
See
till
you
2
later.
a.m.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Photographer could be gone at 10 p.m.
Yeah, 9
And you'll
o'clock,
be
and
there
they're
till
complaining.
midnight.
They're like, why haven't we done the first dance yet? Like
Yeah.
it's 8:30.
Where's
Like
my
I need to be out of here.
That's it. Yeah.
But,
But
yeah,
it's
all,
all
good fun.
different areas of the industry,
Totally.
though, right? And then it's like it all comes together, but at the same time, it's different,
Yeah.
and it's just being able to play ball within the restraints that you got for the function or whatever it is, right?
For sure. I think the hard thing with DJs is unless you've seen someone play, you're taking a bit of a stab in the dark.
Yeah.
With at least with a photographer and a videographer, you can look at someone's portfolio and go, "Oh, this is what I'm getting," and that's
Yep.
what we're trying to present now to our clients. Is like, we kind of want to figure out a way to show them what they're going to get prior to booking us.
Yeah.
Because well, most of our business is word of mouth because they've seen us play at an event, so they go, "Oh, we know you're really good,
Mm.
so we're going to book you for an event." But it's like if you've never seen any of us play, you're gonna doubt, you're gonna question why you're paying that premium price, right?
Yep.
So that's the harder thing with our jobs. Like, unless you've seen what we do exactly, or you've heard a mix, or seen us play, people kind of go, "Do I want to spend that much on a DJ?" Because, as well, in the wedding scene, you have people who call themselves DJs and they're not.
Yep.
They're pressing play on a track, and then the whole track's playing, and then they're pressing next, and 5 of the tracks are Ed Sheeran, and it makes us look bad.
It was interesting. I used to work for a company that was like that. It was just me and one other dude, but the guy ran the business, right? And he was literally just push play DJ. So then he basically got me involved because then he wanted to take on more work and be able to take a little bit of cut off the top, and I was looking for work at the time. But then I was watching him DJ, and I was just sitting there being like, "But you're not mixing," like, and then like again like good reviews and stuff like that from playing gigs and stuff. But I'm thinking like, but I'm molding these songs together and playing samples and doing this and doing that, and then he's literally just pressing play and then bringing it up, and like there's different ways of doing it.
I actually did a questionnaire, you'll see it like on our Instagram,
Yeah.
where I literally answer the question, because I get asked this almost every time, like, do you guys like mash the songs together? Like, do you guys do that? I'm like, that's literally like the bare minimum of what a DJ is, but there's people in the scene who haven't added that into their repertoire of what a DJ is. So people now doubt that, oh, if I'm paying $2,000, I wonder if they're even going to mash the songs together, and it just blows my mind. Like, so.
But that's it.
Those guys would hate their job.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, this would be so boring. It's like essentially just having Spotify. So I wouldn't even want that, you know.
But
ever.
it's what defines a DJ. That's almost what it comes down to. It's like, you know, you're playing music, you're being entertainment, but then maybe you're not actually mixing the music together, but maybe you're just spending the whole time on the microphone.
Well, a lot
Some
of people on
do
Reddit
that, like-
call private DJs just like jukeboxes.
Yeah.
Because essentially we are a bit. I mean,
Well, have you guys ever had
Playing
someone
whatever
come
you
up and
want.
give you like a positive feedback by being like, "I love the playlist you're playing," or "I love the music you're playing"? They're not saying like, "I love your DJ skills," or you know the way you're
But
doing these mashups.
at
is
weddings,
always the
do they
playlist.
sometimes, like you said, do they know that you're actually
Yeah.
DJing?
That's it.
Do they know what DJing is?
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that's what differentiates, I guess, playing a private versus an event.
Yeah.
People are coming for a DJ at a wedding. They might not even know that there's music. So
That's it. I got to ask as well. So with you know how I was mentioning before, it's like, you know, being a DJ, you should be like a business manager, marketing the whole lot, right? How do you guys feel about now being in the scene and actually having to like take videos and stuff, and like do shout outs and like get the media, like take a photo and be like, I'm playing here on the weekend and the whole lot to spread awareness? Because it's a struggle. It's just such, yeah,
Definitely
that's
is a struggle.
Yeah, right?
I never, like I said, mad introvert. Only recently is when I started doing that.
Yeah.
Everyone kept telling me, you gotta do it, you gotta do it, you gotta do it.
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah, but never did it.
It's
and then
part of the job though, almost.
now I just started doing, so it's daunting.
Some venues will actually ask you to do it. Some venues will actually ask, why aren't you doing it as well? So it's kind of like just a good practice to film people having a good time and tag the venue and be like, yeah, it's a good night. But it's so much media, it's so much marketing. It's like, you know, sometimes I find as well, it's like if you have a really good digital brand, then you're more inclined to get hired for certain events, certain things, because then they know, like, it's the silly influencer game almost, but it's like you've got 20,000 followers on Instagram. If we book you, then, you know, 20,000 people will see that story.
some DJs purely get booked through
For
TikTok.
that.
Like they call themselves TikTok DJs.
I'll never forget, like, because I used to be at Capital Nightclub, right? Being at Capital Nightclub, I was kind of like, I was hanging out with the main DJs there, the guy who taught me and stuff, but I was kind of like artist liaisoning a little bit. So someone would come over from America or England or wherever, and part of the reason why I started this, but someone would come over from wherever, and I'd hang out with them and be like, you're here for one night, let's have a good night, you know, what do you want to do? Do you want to party, do this, do that? But sometimes they get someone from like over east, right? But they'd be like, you know, a girl with 150,000 followers on Instagram, but then it's like, you see her go on stage, you can't DJ for shit. But at the same, it sounds bad to say, because I don't like being mean like that, but it's like, she's got 150,000 followers on Instagram. She's got a clothing line. She's got this. She's got that. But part of the reason why she's a DJ is it ties in with everything else she's doing. So she hasn't got a heart and soul in the music and wanting to make people dance. She's got 150,000 followers, and she's keeping that brand up in a way. And it can be unfortunate sometimes where it's like people that want to do it and break out into the scene, they can't really break out in the scene because you don't have enough followers. Or like, you know, a good friend of mine, she tried to she's from Italy. She lives over here now, but she actually tried to get gigs back in her hometown in Italy, like a pub or a bar, and also a nightclub. But she emailed them, and I mean, how sexist is this? Just quickly, right? They emailed her back 2 different nightclubs and said that her boobs weren't big enough, right? How bad is that, right? And then also that she didn't have enough followers, so they couldn't book her, even though she's from Australia and she's actually born and bred in Italy. They couldn't book her because it would be detrimental to their own venue, because they know that they wouldn't be able to get people to see her stories or Instagram. It'd just be a whole bunch of local people from Perth. How terrible is that, right? Yeah, to get an email. She showed me the email, which she said, "Sorry, but your breasts are not big enough."
That's dark, and that's the dark side of the scene. That's the dark side of the scene, for sure.
She could probably blow up putting that on TikTok, to be fair.
But I'll say,
Get some followers.
I'll say the biggest thing we could work on as a team is our social media presence. And that comes with the biggest thing. If you don't have good content, you don't want to post, right?
Yeah.
Because you just feel like you're constantly repeating the same photos or the same thing. So
I feel like that all the time.
I feel that all the time. I'm like, I've posted this photo 3 times already on my story.
Yeah.
Like, I need more content. So like my job now is to make sure that all of these guys have fresh content, because naturally they're then going to go, oh, I'm sick. I got 10 photos here that I haven't posted. I'll put up a story. This is where I am tonight, and it's not the same crap every week. So that's a big thing that we need to work on as a team. Like private profiles, all that. You know what I mean?
So now you're diving into being a social media manager.
That's what I said. This is going to be the new marketing guy.
So well, what are your strengths? Let's see if we can figure out some roles. Like, what are your strengths still?
Well, I slowly I started introducing the 360 camera at the
nice,
so I introduced Josh to it, so he's on it now.
Yeah.
That's
And so just record it and then edit it and then upload it, or
just
little clips for TikTok. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's the new 360 camera guy.
Well, Isaac,
I was
you do the
hoping he was
bookings,
going to
right?
say it longer, because I don't. Strengths like in the team. What are we talking about for the team?
Yeah, so like your
what do you-
strengths within the team. Do you reckon?
I would say I bring that EDM
That EDM.
that the others might lack, because they're hip hop culture. Yeah.
But in terms of business development, we're still talking about. In terms of like brand and business development.
Yeah, I'd say content creation, I think I'm quite good at. I used to run like a YouTube channel when I was younger, had a few followers on that, and I became pretty good at editing, I feel. I would like to use that in the business for sure. Definitely, I think that would be as we were saying, TikTok.
You guys know, right? Like,
TikTok
start a
and
YouTube
Instagram
channel.
is everything now. So
Well, yeah, his recent stuff with the drum and bass was just crazy, and like I props to him because he said, "Q, I'm going to do this," and I was like, "Yeah, okay, cool." And then he did it, and I was like, "Bruh."
Well, can we pull up that video?
Yeah,
Playing it now?
please. Oh
But
my
then
word.
also, like, we'll keep going around.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then, Jack, what about you? Like, what do you bring to the team? Yeah, there's so many mics.
What do I
around.
bring to the business?
Yeah,
So, to be honest, I have no idea.
that's fair. Yeah.
It's not more so like
he's-
not even what do you bring now. It's just like what do you
What I actually,
what would you enjoy in the future?
yeah, what I would like to tap into is the video stuff. Like I used to do videography. I've done a few paid gigs for like real estate and Murdoch University. I've done some videos there and done a bunch of videos. So I do enjoy also videography. I just don't have the gears at this stage, but
yeah. It's
that is something
expensive,
that I would like to get into as well. But yeah, my Instagram page is a very faceless page. Like I don't like to be in front of the camera. I just like to be behind it.
Yeah.
So, but that's something I'm trying to learn is also be in front of it.
Well, see, that's another
eventually.
topic we can dive into. It's like, how wild is it when it's like you're on stage and people are like looking at you, dancing, having a great time. But then as soon as you get off stage, you're like, I need to go hide in my room. Like, that was pretty wild.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm straight out the door.
but it's the experience behind it. Like, what about you, Hills?
I don't know what it is, but people tend to come up to me and just say hi.
Yeah.
And we just have a good old conversation at Whistling Kite the other night. I was meant to start at this time, literally a 3-minute conversation with someone that just, hey girl, I'm like, hey, and we just started talking, and it was just, there's a lot of that for me at the moment, so I don't know, it's fun. Like I feel like it's a good thing. Like you get to know the crowd, you get to know on a personal level. Like you have conversations with them. Meanwhile, you're trying to mix something.
But that's it. It's networking within the audience, like the clientele. People just want to come hang out.
Statistically in the business, Helen has organised Helen has brought me the most referrals out of anybody I've ever known. Like,
Wow.
there's just something about
That's
Helen
good.
where
That's awesome.
people,
Like-
Helen hits me up, she's like, hey, this person wants me to do this. I'm like, what? That's crazy. Hey, by the way, we're on this podcast. I'm like, what? That's crazy. Like,
Yeah,
Helen
yeah.
just talks to people, and that is the best thing ever.
Mm.
So she's our communicator and marketing.
Thanks,
director.
Cuan.
Well, there you go.
Come on.
That's good. That's good to
Crazy.
be part of the team and have that role there. It's awesome. Like to fit in together and like just like a jigsaw piece in a way. What about you, Josh?
I think I'm just starting to get into the whole social media thing. Like Dylan said, bought myself a 360 camera as well.
Yep.
I've also done a couple photo shoots specifically to be able to post because I just personally I don't like taking my own photos.
No, I'm the same.
I
I'm not photogenic.
exactly like
at
Jake
all.
said. I like being behind the camera, but not in front of the camera.
Yeah.
So, I think I don't know. I like to be ever since I've been getting into the social media thing. It's been very consistent every week. Wherever I'm going, I'm posting, and I didn't realize how much of an effect that had until my auntie Haley. She had told me that because she's also in the scene a little bit. She goes out a lot more than me. So she was telling me, she's like, oh, I got this DJ who wants to come and see you, but you were at Cabs this weekend, but I didn't know you were at Cabs because you didn't post. And I was like, that's when I noticed. I was like, oh,
That's
okay,
it. It's
yeah, I need to,
consistency.
because I was posting a lot up until that point, and I was just like, I don't know if anyone's actually reading or seeing this stuff. And then so I just stopped for like 1 week, and then that's the week that she had said that, and I was like, oh crap.
Yeah, wait a minute. Maybe I should have made that post.
So ever since, every weekend, where I'm going, wherever it is, post.
Well, with the social media, the algorithm is fascinating. I just have to say, where it's like you could not post for a little bit, then you do one post and it'll fill these like it'll click these boxes or whatever, right? Or tick these checks, right? But at the same time, then the reach will be incredible. But then at the same time, then if you keep posting every week after that, it might drop off because it's like it's hard to explain, but it's how they actually read the images, the media, just like how they actually process it to go like this is good content. You know, one thing that blew me away, which really put it in perspective, right, is that like uploading on my stories, I was only getting maybe between like 70 to 120, right, just roughly on Facebook and Instagram, like on each, right? But then I got my wisdom teeth taken out, so I took a selfie with me wearing the fucking mask, right, and I'm like high as a kite because I got my wisdom teeth taken out. But because I uploaded that, then my reach went up to like 650, 700 on Facebook. Yeah, 650, 700 people, because it looked like I was in trouble or whatever it was. I was in hospital, but I was just getting my wisdom teeth. Didn't put any like notation or anything, but the algorithm picked up on it and obviously like scanned the photo or whatever, and they were like, well, he might be in dire need or something. Like, let's push his reach a bit. But then it's the same thing with sponsoring. It's like
Algorithms are fascinating.
it is. I didn't even know about this as well, but like I would like. The best way to put it right is if you've got your Facebook page or your Instagram page, don't spend money on it. Don't sponsor it. So I had a marketing guy on forever and ever ago, but he basically said that when you don't put money in sponsor ads or anything like that, you're inside the box and they're throwing information at you to try and get you to sponsor and pay for it. But the minute you get outside of that box, you can't get back inside that box. So then when you get outside that box, you go even to a bigger box. And then you have to spend more money to get the different areas of that box for that reach. So before we started paying for adverts, we were getting, you know, I think it was like on average between 300 and 500 views per every single episode. But then when I started, like, I threw $10 on one. Cause I was like, this is a good episode. I'm going to throw money on it. And then hopefully I can improve the reach. Now I find that Facebook and Instagram actually hinder my reach unless I throw money on it. But then it's not real views and it's not real likes and stuff. It's not organic from local WA. People in the Philippines or something like that. But at the same time, it's like it's how it works. So if you guys are going to dive into social media, definitely like look into it.
I feel like
research.
it's something like DJing, because you want people to do something for you. When you post a story, you know, it's come watch me play, go watch my video. You want them to do something, so you almost have to lie and pretend like you don't want them to do anything. You just want them to consume your content.
Yeah.
Because the moment you go into do this for me, or you need to come here, then you just lose everything. You lose every time, unless you're big, because no one cares. Like, why would you
Just
care?
toilet.
Toilet.
Yeah, that's all good. Blake, do you want to show him the tours?
Oh, no.
Oh, you're already good? Yeah. But no, that's it though. I do agree. And that is like, See, something we can also discuss as well. Like, so with Cabalitos, do they ever try and like ask you to like bring people to the venue at all? Because in a example, right, is that say at like Magnet House or Capital Nightclub, they actually give DJs work for like sometimes, not all the time, but it's happened in the past where it's like this guy, we'll book him for a Saturday night because he's guaranteed to bring 60 people to the venue because he was popular in high school. But then it's because that way he can bring the people into the venue sees as those 60 people are going to spend money on the bar because they're here to see their mate. But then it's like it's the influence. It's Perth is so small.
Well, I'll just say this because I know he's going to be humble, but Q is such a legend to work for because he gives you, I know everyone will agree, he gives you such lenience in terms of you can really fuck up and be a bad DJ for a bit or drop off.
Yeah.
And he'll still be giving you gigs the next week if you want them, you know. Yeah. Whereas I feel like, like you said, if you're not bringing 60 people or if you're not in your best form, then you'll get forgotten.
Yeah.
You know, you'll just get dusty, and there's 100 other people to come back.
But that what you just said there, Josh, is perfect. Like I interviewed a girl not too long ago, absolute legend in the scene, really cool girl, right? But she was playing at Metro's Freo, and playing at Metro's Freo, she's playing in the little side room, right?
Is that Alex?
No, I don't want to release names or anything.
Oh yeah, my bad.
But she was playing in this. She was playing in the little like laundry area, and it's drum and bass night, right? And so there was no one there. She couldn't help it though. It's like there's just no one there in the venue. It's not her fault per se, but because the booking agent saw that, and then the guy after, and there was still no one there, he blamed it on the music, and then they didn't get booked there anymore. And how unfortunate is that? Because it's like you can't help if it's a quiet night in winter and the fucking club's not busy. Perth is Perth. Some nights, some venues are just empty, but you can't help that.
No.
But it's crazy how they force it. You know, we won't say the name obviously, but we had this bar and it's just completely empty. Yeah. And they would book us like consistently, and there's like zero people.
Yeah.
They would keep
But they
booking.
expect it to build up over time because they got DJs there now. But then where's the advertising, the marketing for it, and the events? Like I want to dive into your event soon as well, but that's it, right? Like,
and I'll be real. For some reason, venues have this expectation, especially when I've sat down and like you're tendering for a venue in a sense.
Yeah.
It's like they're almost saying to you like, how are you going to bring more people to my venue? And it's like, I'm kind of there like, that's not my job though.
Yeah.
If you get people in that venue, I'll keep them there with the music I'm playing. But I'm not there to be your marketing guy, your Instagram guy, all these other guys. Like, I'm just there to play really good music once people are in the venue. But I'm like, you've got to get people in that venue. Like,
but isn't it so wild though?
Isn't it so wild? They'll blame us if they have a dip in the night or something like that.
That's it. Like, but then at a wedding, it's like you're basically planning the wedding, doing all the stuff, being the MC, everything. But then you go to a venue and there's no one there. But it's like, sorry, I can't help it though. Like 100%. You know, it just got quiet, or it started pissing down with rain outside. 100%. People leave.
100%. And people want to be in a full venue. I find like you get that awkward number. Like say the venues are, say it's cabs, right, and it's 120 capacity, and say you've got like 40 people in there,
and it looks empty, right?
And it looks empty. People will literally walk in, even if the music's popping, and go, "Oh, there's not enough people here. It's not a vibe," and leave. Yeah. And it's like, that's the reason the venue's not empty, because all you people keep walking in here and being like, oh, it's not full yet. But like, if you just all stayed for a couple of minutes, everyone would see that it's full. That's just crazy. Yeah. Like the way people think and
But it's how it is though, and it's just how Perth is in a way. Like Running with Thieves, that place. So can we Google that bar? So that's down in Freo, but that place has gone into administration now, and so it's up for sale. But the reason why is because it's such a big venue. But then you could put 50 people in there, but it still looks empty because the capacity is like 350, 400 people or something. It's a beautiful venue, but look at that, how huge it is though.
Yes, this venue,
And it's off the beaten path in South Freo.
When it opened,
and it's an awesome venue, but...
I actually know the owners.
Really?
Yeah, is that the one where the sun is like directly on it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure,
outside, yeah. Well, they have DJs there.
And you could throw...
they used to,
You could throw crazy events in that place.
You could really
absolutely rip the lid. It's literally like a really nice warehouse.
Yeah, that's it. Just a really nice warehouse.
So that's in administration now.
Yeah.
Not currently owned by anyone.
No, I'm pretty sure it's been sold. I think it's been sold.
Q's got that light bulb.
It's your
make a
way.
little investment after this Infra-Red.
Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it was a while ago. So, but then, so in saying that as well, so then like, where was I going to go with that? So yeah, Josh, your event. because we still need to play your video as well. But Josh, what event have you got coming up at Cabalitos?
So Cabs and I, we've been in the talks to do a R&B, hip hop, Amapiano, Afrobeats event.
So what was so hip hop, R&B, hip hop, and what was it? What?
Afrobeats and Amapiano.
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 And what's that?
So it started off as a South African genre.
Yep.
And then I don't know if you know the artist Tyler.
Yeah.
You know, she blew up, but even before her, it started to blow up in the scene, in the music scene. Yeah, that's the one, in the musical scene. So point being, the idea came from the fact that like you have all these events, all these R&B and hip hop events in Perth, right? But all of them only explore one aspect of each genre. So you got some they're all great events, mad events. Some focus on R&B, some focus on just the hip hop stuff.
Yeah.
Some focus on the Afro and the Amapiano. I wanted to do something because at first I only started with R&B and hip hop. Then I started to delve into those other two genres because I did love listening to those genres, but I just didn't know how to mix them well with those other two genres.
Yeah.
So once I had learned how to do that, that's where the idea came, where why isn't there just one place or one event that actually has all of this in one?
Yeah, together, yeah.
Because people love these events. And those same people that you see at the R&B events are also at the Amapiano events and the Afrobeats events.
That's it, yeah.
And the hip hop events.
Yep.
Why not bring them all together?
That's a good way to do it, though. It could work out.
Avengers Assemble, basically, type stuff, right?
Yeah, very nice, yeah.
So that's the idea behind it. Not to mention, I love those four genres. And yeah, look, no date as of yet, but we're very close to having one.
Actually making it happen.
So yeah, I'm actually gonna sort that out this weekend when I'm there.
Yeah.
So
and
yeah,
it will tie in with Anomaly DJs as well, like, or
it is.
or is it more your project?
It's always been a thing of mine that I wanted to do when I first started DJing. Like when I jumped into Cabalitos, that was probably the first time I started taking it seriously.
Yep.
And at that point, that's when I was like, okay, I want to do my own event. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to do it.
And so it'll be like a monthly thing as well, or?
That's the plan. Yeah. Once a month. So if you miss out this month, you got a whole month to wait until the next one. So come this month. Trust me, that type thing. That's the idea behind it.
Yeah. No, that's very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah. So eventually it's going to start at Cabalitos, but once it starts to gain that traction, eventually I want to take it elsewhere.
Yeah.
Get more DJs on board, maybe even live music at one stage after a while.
And just see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, reach the sky basically.
Yeah, there's no idea that's off the table.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
That's a good way to do it, because a lot of people when they go through events, they might find it's a bit more rigid and they kind of like thinking inside the box instead of thinking outside of the box. But that's like, you know, like with everything, you got to think outside of the box. Like you got to try and find ways to actually get people to come to your event. Right.
100%.
One of the biggest issues you might find though is like, because if you do ticket sales online, it's so stupid, but this is how Perth operates, right? Is that they will buy tickets last minute. Like I've had, like there's this group called Soon, so I used to be a part of them, and we used to throw raves and parties around Perth. But like we'd throw an event at Leadville Hotel, and we would sell tickets on the day. So it's like you got this aura of just like what's going to happen. We've sold 30 tickets, but we need 70 tickets to break even. And then on the day you sell the 50 tickets or 60 tickets, whatever it is, and you go over, and you're like, thank God for that, because we're stressing for 2 months.
It's all just FOMO, isn't it? Bro?
Yeah, it is.
FOMO runs the world now.
Yeah.
100%.
You know, if you make people think they're going to miss out.
Yeah.
Like AMC on Saturday. I hate going to Metro City, but I feel like I'm going to miss out because it's sold out, so I might go.
Yeah.
And leave early.
Yeah.
You know, but
Do you know what was the craziest thing I ever experienced? Fred again dropping tickets 3 days before the show.
I was going to mention that,
and like Perth went crazy.
Yeah, can we Google that? Because that was nuts. Like
there was one photo where it shows all 35,000 people at Langley, and it's just like, it's the most incredible thing. Yeah. And I'm like, I actually loved it because it wasn't this thing like, oh, Fred again's playing in November and I've got to wait, and then you got to wait for all this time. It was
Dom
like
Dollar dropped his thing like 8 months.
8 months or something. Yeah, it's only in December or something.
8 months is crazy.
But it was the craziest thing because like you bought a ticket and it was in 3 days and everyone's like, oh my gosh.
Yep.
If you didn't get a ticket and the website's all in spam because there's too many people on the server.
Do you know people were buying resale and it was still up for sale. So people were buying for $300 off other people, but it was still
It
on
was
the
still up for
website.
sale because they didn't
Just
want to
purely
miss the
because of
ticket.
the hype and
Literally.
pure FOMO that everyone would get.
Isn't it nuts though? Isn't it wild that it's like
crazy.
Fred again comes over here and 3 days it sells out. But some people will throw an event and then they're just so worried about their event succeeding.
Oh my word.
But then it doesn't. Sometimes it succeeds. Sometimes it doesn't succeed. But at the same time, it's like how do you educate the people of Perth? Be like, come to these
Yeah,
events or
yeah.
go out and do this
and
or
that's
do
what's
that.
so frustrating. We keep talking about this. It's like people get bored so quick.
Yeah.
We live in a culture and
I
a
blame
world
TikTok.
where, you know what I mean? People get bored so quick, and it's like
Fine,
this.
actually.
Yeah.
Now we're just saying like, how do we constantly build this tension around people wanting to be somewhere? Because like you can be anywhere on a Friday and Saturday night. It's like how do you get people noticing that you want them to be at your event or
Yep.
your club or your bar? It's like it's so difficult.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there must be a formula to it, and I don't know
Yeah.
what it is
Yeah.
yet.
That's
but once
it.
you work out that formula, it's like man,
Well,
go
we were
crazy.
saying yesterday at the meeting we had, if it's already been done, then you're too late, kind
Yeah.
of thing. I feel like there's so many events, promotion teams that come up and they kill it for a while and then they drop off. And,
Yeah, and something
then
else takes their
their
place.
viewership
almost.
drops off because people want something new.
Mm.
So if we come in and we do the same, we rent out a warehouse and do a great gig on the first time, people might come because it's new, but then are they going to keep coming?
Yep.
Needs to be something
That you can
utterly
reinvent.
different that people are going to
Yeah.
remember.
There has to be something out there because it's so unfortunate that like Perth, people will go out to these new venues and it'll be their like Claremont Hotel, perfect example. Claremont Hotel had a $12.5 million renovation to it, right? It was nuts. Completely turned the venue inside out, made it so pretty in the whole lot. The first maybe 7 months of it being open, they were making a killing and it was great. They were paying off the build and everything like that. It was all working out. But now the place is a ghost town.
Really?
Yeah, it's a ghost town because it's too expensive to start off with. A large glass of Pinot Noir there is $25. $25 for a large glass of wine, right? But then it's like you have
a bottle, bro.
yeah, that is a bottle, right? But it's like you have things like that to obviously it attracts that kind of clientele. But then they've obviously tried to keep the hype there, keep the people there. But things have done this and things have happened and this is that and the blah blah blah. But then people just don't go there anymore. So it's a $12.5 million build and it's a ghost town. Like, but then somehow there has to be a formula for something.
But have you seen what Splendid do?
Splendid, yeah.
I think they've been killing it with what they've been doing. Different events, pop-up events, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that's what Perth needs.
Splendid. Can we look up Splendid again? These are the guys that throw the raves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don
yeah.
Dark
Yeah,
and
those
stuff.
guys.
I think that's just,
yeah.
I think that's crazy. I
Yeah,
think
but they were smart about their marketing.
really smart.
They
It blew
made
up
it-
instantly.
That's it.
I think that blew up, that first one they had, the
Yeah.
first TikTok or whatever.
But that's what's also so interesting, right? Is they're not throwing illegal parties. They're throwing raves.
Yeah,
but
that's
they're at
wild.
legal venues. They're just upstairs at fucking Billy Lee's or something like that. But it works out well.
Killer, bro.
Yeah.
So good.
But then, so like the group of like Soon group, right? Because we throw parties.
Yeah.
Soon, right?
Yeah.
We've done things where we've thrown a party at Kings Park, for example, and 300 people rock up at Kings Park.
But you got that legally.
yeah, well, no, we got shut down at 4:30 in the morning. Though.
4:30 is good though.
Yeah.
4:30 is good.
It's
I'm already-
because I actually helped the guys import these speakers. They were 3-way PA speakers, so loud, right? So crystal clear. It's absolutely insane. But we had it set up so we had festival subs underneath this playground. Can you
Jeez.
Can you look up Lycopod Kings Park if that's okay? But we set it up so perfectly, right? And it was something different that no one else has done.
Yeah.
But then we turned the speakers up around 4 a.m. and then you could actually have the Claremont Hospital or whatever it is, right? The one that's close by. Apparently people could hear it as soon as you're walking out the base. So then the cops are obviously looking for us because like we did this party.
4 a.m. is good though.
Yeah, but we've also done things like tunnel raves and all this other cool
mad
stuff. Like really stuff that is not just a night out in Leaderville.
And you guys
or
don't
something.
operate anymore?
No, it's still happening.
still do?
Yeah, there's still raves and parties happening. They're just
How am I
happening
missing
soon.
this?
You just have to follow the page.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
But it's one of those things, right, where the guys have gone against the grain, gone off the beaten path, right, to be able to throw proper parties, proper fun, enjoyable
Well, to be fair,
parties.
Euphoria,
Yeah,
Sammy,
yeah.
Sinner, Metro City Rooftop she did last week, and that is like one of the coolest places. I think
That's it, yeah.
That is an unbelievable place to play a rave with the skyline and stuff like
Yep.
that. I think people just want something
easy.
different I can
Yeah.
go to, you know.
That's
Yeah.
exactly it. Something different, but something easy to get into, sort out, do this, rock up, pay, buy a ticket.
So sick.
Yeah.
So
But there has
Perth
to be a
is the best
formula.
city for EDM, I think.
The
at
way
moment
I've always
in
looked at
Australia.
things, because now I'm 201 episodes into the podcast, right, is that if you make it big in Perth, then you can make it big in the rest of Australia, or even anywhere. Because, you know, Pendulum was from here. We've had, you know, Heath Ledger from here, and he was a freaking joker, right? But at the same time, it's like you have all these people that started off in a small little country town, and they made it bigger and bigger and made it better and better, and then they just made it work, and then they travel over east to do whatever and find their wings and stuff. But if you run your business and you make it work within Perth, Perth's only going to get bigger and bigger. And it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like with foreign investors. Like, I want to buy a house, but I can't really buy a house because it's so expensive, right? But if I bought a house in the 90s or the 2000s, when I was, you know, if I was older back then I could have. But it's a similar thing with business as well. And it's like with the DJ industry, it is becoming so oversaturated, it's ridiculous. But if you're good at what you do and you do well at it, then you can stick around, then you can become a local legend within the scene, basically. So yeah, like, keep doing what you guys are doing. Yeah. So we're running out of time as well, so we've only got like 10 minutes, because technically it's a 2-hour podcast. So, but I thought this would happen because it's like we're trying to go around the room and get everyone to talk and hold up. So what have you guys got? Well, can we pull up that video in the background of Isaac DJing the mountain? We'll play that, right? We might not be able to play the audio.
Well, if you go on Facebook, you could just get like some clips. Might be quicker. I sent them
Yeah.
a Facebook link as well.
Oh, you did? Yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so it's
you don't have to
42
play the whole
minutes
thing.
as well.
Yeah.
Damn.
Do we have 42 minutes, guys? Copyrighted music?
Yeah, even if you just play and skip through it.
Yeah, just play in the background.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, so where was this? What was this?
This
What were we
was
doing?
so what we were talking about before about, you know, I was doing a bit of D&B, got a few gigs here and there, but I felt like, because I don't produce
Yeah.
and I don't have the balls or the time or the knowledge. to
That's
produce.
awesome, though.
Nuts, man.
Is that what, with the bloody drone?
Drone, yeah. I can't believe.
That's cool.
I thought it was terrible while I was doing it as well, which is crazy.
Nah, you're rocking out.
I was just thinking, how can I possibly stand out in this sea of drum and bass DJs? Because I'm not better than any of them. I mean, I like to think maybe I like to think that I'm good, but if I'm being realistic, at the end of the day, you know, you beat match, you put songs together. It's how good can you actually be
Yeah.
if you don't produce? So I thought, if I don't do something like this, then I'm genuinely not gonna be a drum and bass DJ. You know, I'm just gonna be like forgotten and not be able to.
And see, that's the thing about the scene is like,
Okay,
unless you keep putting the content out, unless you keep like, you know, you didn't put it out for 1 week, and
That's
then your
That's all
auntie
it
hits
takes.
you up, right?
That's
Yeah.
the shit.
All it takes. Yeah. And you just got to keep at it. That's the thing about it.
But I wasn't expecting. I put it on Perth drum and bass, and I was expecting to get like hate, to get people saying, you know, this is a bad mix. This isn't great. And the love was. You got like 1,000 likes. I couldn't believe
Oh,
it.
look how beautiful that is.
No, but I
Where is
genuinely.
that?
And when I say Perth is the best city, I mean in terms of I don't know anywhere else in Australia that you could post something on Facebook to a bunch of strangers and they could go, "This is unreal." You know, you
Yeah.
smashed it, and it makes you just want to go and do it tomorrow again.
That's what I mean. The community can be so helpful and so good.
The community
and then
here
you
is
can just
unreal.
flip a switch and it's completely opposite.
That's it, and I was
Yeah.
terrified, but
Yeah.
Let's be real, right? If you posted that and all you got was hate, you'd probably never do it again,
You
right?
never do it again. No.
It would have just killed you.
yeah, I wouldn't do it again.
You know what I mean? But like, because you got the opposite, it motivated you, and I think people respected the effort.
Yeah.
Because people are lazy. You know what I mean? Who's gonna hike up a mountain with a table
Yeah,
and
that's
decks
it.
and equipment? You know what I
Twice,
mean?
we had to
People,
do it twice. The first
people at
time.
least respect the effort that was
But
involved.
did he have a
you know?
battery or anything as well?
No,
or-
it was. I turned on my laptop actually, and it didn't turn on. And this is the second time we've gone up in 6 weeks. It's a 5-hour drive, and because the first time it was too foggy, and I turned on the laptop and it didn't turn on. I'm like, Ali, it's not turning on. And there was 2 people up there waiting. They were gonna watch us, and turned out I just hadn't pressed it hard enough. But
Yeah.
my heart was in my arse, bro.
So you were just running this all off battery then?
All off the laptop. It's like it's like a 2-hour battery laptop. It's a gaming laptop as well, and off the DDJ 400.
Which powers off the laptop, right?
Yeah.
And so where is this though?
This is Mount Hassel. Do you know Mount
Hassel?
Do you know? Was it Mount Bluff? The other one?
Oh,
Bluff Knoll.
Yeah.
It's next to that
Google
one.
that as well. If that's
It's next to that one because Bluff Knoll would be way too busy at that time. We got lucky. There was only 2 people up there, and they left when I started playing. So.
They're like, oh, there's a DJ here now.
It was so nice. But,
do you guys have tickets?
That's it.
But I couldn't believe the reception from Perth drum and bass. The community is it's something else. The drum and bass community is very special in Perth.
It's very cool.
Very special.
Very, very cool. So what have you guys got?
Guys.
Because we've only got 6 minutes left. What have you guys got in the pipework for the future? And what do you got? Goals, aspirations, everything. I mean, you want to throw a really wicked event, right? So
Pretty much, So that's my short-term goal. Still working out what my long-term goal is. So still working that out. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, just follow the music and hang out and have a good time, right?
100%.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go around. What about you, Cuan?
Oh man, just trying to survive the day to day. Reply to all the emails. Nah. I think for me personally, because the business is pretty established now, I personally now want to play events and gigs that I like.
Yeah.
Like I've done the slog, 8 years of weddings and just to make money and that. But now, and all these guys really encourage me to do that more. So I've really said next year I want to play events and gigs because people ask me to. Like I want people to come up to me and say, Q, can you just rip a set at this event? Or Q, can you play this festival? Or that's next year's goal, to kind of take the pedal off the business because these guys run it so well now and it's so seamless, and really just focus on being an artist, playing music that I enjoy, making edits. So that's
the way to do it. Though. It's like slog it out and do the gigs that people don't want to do. Set it up and away you go. And then now you can actually kick back a little bit.
Now I've got time, freedom to focus on the stuff that I enjoy.
That's it.
That's the plan. Yeah,
it's part of business.
That's it.
So yeah, what about you, Hells?
I'm just enjoying the music at the moment. Obviously learning the technical stuff and all that jazz, but definitely open to playing at more venues and stuff like that. So yeah, at the moment just digging the music, looking for new music, playing at the gigs. So yeah, it's been fun.
Just having a good time and just riding the wave, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's the way to do it. Jake?
Yeah, I'm also just enjoying the venues. I do really enjoy playing at places where you get to play the music you like. So I do want to get into that a lot more as well, but I also want to get into producing as well. So I did study a bit of producing and have done it before, so I just want to get more into that, make mashups, all sorts of things. So
Okay.
that is the goal.
If you want, so I actually live with a guy called Ewan, E-Putty. Have you ever heard of E-Putty at all?
No.
So he's a local producer in Perth, but he's done music with MF Doom. No, not MF Doom. No, sorry. Ghostface Killer. He did He did a song with Ghostface Killer, and he's also done a song with Del the Funky Homo Sapien as well. And so he's like he's quite well connected, and he's like been teaching music for a long time and all sorts of stuff. Like almost every episode, I kind of like like, can we pull up E-Putty?
Definitely would love to. I don't really have many people that kind of like do that, so I don't really. Have
well, he's
people I can just feed off with.
He's got this thing where he's written up basically like a plan of like you'd sit down with him, you talk to him about what you want to achieve out of making music, like production stuff, and then he'll actually cater a course to you. Like he'll make a course for you to be able to get what you want out of that course. Basically, he does it proper.
That's awesome.
E-Putty.
Yeah, E-Putty. Yeah, if he's around after, I'll introduce you. If not, I'll just. If you can, I'll make a group chat or something like that. Because he is really good at what he does.
Oh, awesome.
Really good.
Yeah, sure.
Like, he makes incredible music, honestly.
Oh, man.
So
cheers, mate. Yeah, I'd love to do that.
No, that's all right. Isaac?
I think just playing music that I like to play and see people enjoy it, because I felt like I definitely dropped off with played a lot of weddings and privates and stuff, and I felt like I wasn't playing music that I liked or that people liked.
Yeah.
Sort of playing this music that no one liked.
Yeah. It gets like that.
I got so commercial that
Yeah.
just going, how commercial can I get? You know? And I became so crowd
B-sides of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I was trying to please the crowd so much that it would do the opposite. So really just play the stuff I like.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's just the cable, yeah. Be careful. Yeah, it's all good.
I'll quickly share a story.
Yeah.
This
No, it's all good. It should be all good. Yeah.
this guy and I, we'll back to back at the Avery sometimes.
Wait, maybe wiggle it again. Wait, no, there we go. Right, it's all good.
My mate likes touching things.
That's it. Dills. There we go. Okay, we're back.
And we'd have we'd back to back at Avery, and we'd have a competition basically on who could drop the best track to make people go wild. And
That's
he
cool.
dropped this track, man, and no one responded. And I remember, like everyone was like, "Can you change this track?" And he's like, it just hit this glitch in his body, and he just went, "Why does no one like me?" And I kid you not, for the rest of the set, he just couldn't get out of
Killed me, bro.
what happened in that moment. But it's
I
so
needed
true.
that, though.
He
That
needed
happens,
that to go
though, yeah.
oh crap! Why do I care so much? You know. So.
No, but it does happen. It really does happen. It's like, have you guys ever had the music stop for a split second or something like that? And it's like the DJ freaks out and goes like, "Fuck, the music stopped."
Yeah.
But at the same time, no one gives a shit. No one knows.
And then you're
Like,
like, it's not my fault, but no one cares.
yeah.
One
It's
of the
always
boys
your
at the Avery
fault.
has this epic moment on video where instead of hitting Q on that side, he hits Q on the side that's playing.
Yeah.
Everyone's singing Titanium.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps
Ooh.
singing, doesn't notice that
Yeah.
the track stopped because everyone's singing their hearts out, and he's like scrubbing through the track to find
Yeah,
where
to
to
get
come
back
back in, and he nails it. It's so awesome.
That's awesome. That's
But
cool.
sorry, Dil.
Yeah. Dill, you're up.
To be honest, I don't really have any goals to DJ any event or alongside any artist. I honestly, for me, my biggest goal is just to get better as a DJ.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah,
though.
to be honest, I have no goal to say DJ alongside Jazzy Jeff
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I'm so content that I've done a back to back with Q. I've done a back to back with Josh. I'm happy to say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's a good way to look at it, though. That is a good way to look at it.
I'll say this to finish before we head off. I think the greatest thing with this collective is that there's actually nothing to lose.
Mm.
Like, we have so many good times as a team, whether we're working or not working, that even if, we never play that festival we want to play, or we never play that drum and bass set for some major artist as an entry, there's so much that we get out, or for me personally, there's so much that I get out of this. Even if you took the money away, the gigs away, even just being a part of this team, and I think that's the thing that keeps us going. It's even if you strip the DJing right back and you did 1 gig a month, just us hanging out on a Wednesday night, eating
Having a good
varsity,
time, yeah.
having burgers is that's enough for me. Aside from even the scene or the money or the business,
But it's the memories as well,
it's
right?
you've got this cool group that we can just hang out and talk shit with.
That's it.
It's very cool. It's very cool.
That's it. That's a good way to do it. That's a good way to look at it. Because that's the thing. It's in 10 years, you look back and it's what a time that
Man.
was. How good was that?
I
How
did
much
that.
fun was that? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It's so good.
That's a good way to look at it.
But thank you so much for having us, man.
Thank
we've
you,
had the best
everyone.
time.
Honestly,
Seriously.
It's
Thank you
been
for the
so
guys.
many conversations going around and everything. It's been good though.
You guys have managed us really well.
Yeah, catered to 6 people. So I wonder if I can now go for 7 or 8.
Go high, mate. Go high.
Yeah, just need some more alcohol on the table though.
Yeah.
It's it's 7 to 8 people and everyone's gonna be wild. So yeah, but thank you guys, honestly. And I'd love to have you guys back as well, honestly.
100%.
Just maybe a year down the track and see how you guys progressed and everything, and
You'll need some more mics.
yeah, that's need to do some upgrades in here. So we have next week, because we're booked up until September, I'm pretty sure. What is the date today? Do we have any more comments as well, or anything we can do shout outs for?
It's the 16th.
Josh's
today.
auntie. Oh, Kez.
Hey, Kez.
Oh, that's the Anomaly boss.
Yeah.
Kezia Wheatley, shout out. Josh actually pays these guys to comment. It's a monthly subscription fee.
You're a popular guy, Josh.
Family friends. Love it.
Shout out to Harry. His
Oh,
podcast
another
was
thing,
sick.
Alvyn Tan. So Alvyn Tan was who started the business with us. Alvyn Tan went to New Zealand to produce professionally.
Mhm.
So he was producing for artists in New Zealand, and now he's back.
Really?
So he doesn't know this yet, but he'll be back and doing stuff for the team.
That's awesome.
Producing music with us. So that's very exciting.
Big shout out to Adam Dalton as well.
Yes,
one of my
Adam,
homeboys.
boy.
Hi, Adam.
Yeah. I've known him for a long time. He's a very good dude. Good mate of mine.
Oh, he told me once that he has 1 million songs.
A what?
1 million songs on his USB.
Adam.
Was he drunk?
Oh,
Was it a million? No, I think he said
So many.
maybe 100,000.
100,000?
Something like that.
Just hasn't gone
How much
through.
did
And,
you
But
say you had?
his
so
range
I've got about
insane.
35, 37. But there's a lot of
100,000
duplicates.
is achievable if
Yeah.
you think about
Did you
it.
say 37,000 songs?
Yeah, about 35, 37,000.
Yeah.
But I've been collecting since day dot, like since my first iPod.
How do you? Is that all on one USB?
No. So I use my laptop.
Yeah,
Okay.
laptop.
So I've like when I used to work up north. So I went through my whole collection.
1 terabyte.
1 terabyte. Been collecting for a long
Of
time.
music, not a million.
It's
one
one of those.
kbs per song. That's your quality of songs, bro.
It's one of those things that I would say though is like when you guys do get the chance, like maybe once every 2 years, like go back through your music and yeah, it is important. Look, I've gone through the 35,000 right, and I've categorized and color coded, and I think I've got like 100 playlists.
I need to do that. So
You do have to start from
How
the
many
start.
hours would
Yeah.
you do a day though without burning out if you were categorizing? those
The
songs?
longest DJ set I've ever done was 11 hours and 45 minutes.
Jeez.
And that was on the main street of Fremantle, next door to the time zone of a place called Vinanolli's. And I used to do, so I'd DJ Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday, right? Sunday day, maybe Sunday night, maybe I'd go play in Scarborough or something. But, you know, the gig was something like Friday night, I was at Long Chim's and then went Market Grounds after. Saturday might have been Peach Pit or something till midnight. Then Sunday, 9 a.m., I would get there and I would play at Vinanolli's to the streets of Fremantle. And I would just keep playing during the day. And one of these days, literally, like I had a bride get pushed in a shopping trolley by her husband. It was like 6 p.m. at night or something like that. And then literally just from there, I started a street party, and it didn't stop until like I think it was 10:30 at night, because then I had to pull the plug. I was I'm done. I'm too tired. But what was quite funny was that in doing that, the day after, liquor and licensing came up to the venue. And they basically asked, like, are you guys allowed to throw street parties? There was a lot of people standing with alcohol out the front of your venue.
Classic.
So then basically
Boy.
lost the gig almost after that. Had to like tame it down, and then 2 gigs after that lost it.
Australia they don't like fun, do they?
No. It's street drinking
The
in the
fun
middle
police.
of Fremantle. Like,
Fun police, yeah.
yeah, but no, that was a lot of fun.
I'm
But-
impressed that your Kings Park got shut down. At
I'll
4
show you guys more about that after. Like,
yeah.
I'll show you. Yeah, I'll tell you guys bits and
Very
pieces
impressive.
after. Yeah.
Amazing.
Like, but yeah, thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you.
Alex.
And yeah, and we'll
Thank
see you guys soon, and then we'll see you next week as well. So next week we have the owner of the Bird coming on, so the
Awesome.
Bird Bar, and
Okay.
so they've just done renovations to the Small Bird, like the little like wine venue, and basically he's going to come on and talk about all the events. And he was running a thing called Save the Bird for a while because of venues and how difficult it is to run a venue in Perth these days.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's all worked out, and the Bird's going to survive. So
Let's go.
it's going to be an interesting story. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. So yeah, cheers, guys.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, and we'll see you soon. So,
Bye.
alright, catch us. Alright, are we off? Yeah.